This podcast contains adults using adult language. You have been warned.
Looking back on the past where we still had a chance, we were pawns in a game that we could not win.
Oh, well, this is something new. Hey, everybody. So we just went live, but for some reason, it decided it's not going to bring the video over. Oh, no. Hang on. Maybe it's there? I don't know anymore. Everything's frozen.
Is it the wrong layer?
No. It is the
There it
correct
is.
layer. But, guys, so up until 30 seconds ago, everything was set up perfectly. And now it does not work at all. So let me see if I can't.
I'm wondering if you don't have another screen up.
I got it just fixed.
Okay.
So, okay. Hey, everybody.
This is what the beginning is.
It is Sunday, which means not only is it Technological Leprosy Sunday, where we learn about things, but it is also time for another episode of Team X, the I guess only, as of right now, official franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated operating in the Chondalwood region of Faerun. So, hey, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. And sorry that we weren't able to broadcast last week because all of us died. Well, no, 3/5 of us died.
Yeah, I was very not happy.
I was not in a good place either.
When I become sick, I become very irritable. So
I really loved my bathroom last weekend.
And folks, once
That's where I
again,
slept.
this is the quality kind of entertainment you're going to get.
So, Brian, I noticed a new thing on the overlay.
Yes.
I have 3 angry faces, and then Yvonne, also known as the Viking Goat, has 3 leaves.
I do.
And then Dren my Ginweaver, played by Clues, also has these 2
I have like slats.
She has the mathematical symbol for chaos.
chaos symbols.
Oh.
And then Eno has nothing.
Yes. So,
Yet.
Why do I only have
Yet.
2 in it?
You used one.
because you blew it.
Shh, I wanted to complain about something.
Uh,
Inequality or something.
believe me, we have plenty of time.
This is horseshit.
There will be lots for you to complain about, I'm sure. So yes, what you're seeing there, folks, are the specials that we had previously mentioned in earlier episodes. The first of which was used in our last episode when when Dren my Gemweaver, with her name spelled correctly, I might add, used her chaotic Nutella ability. And so that symbolizes her ability to burn things. Now, like you did mention, true, Eno does not have them yet because the gods have not granted him his specials yet, but it is something that we are working on.
He hasn't pissed off a deity enough to warrant.
But you will also notice below me, I have one of my dark inspiration dice
Oh.
that I can
A dark inspiration.
use at another time.
It's that
But-
little evil red symbol.
Yes. So let's go around the horn. Let's introduce ourselves and say who we are and what we're doing here and what our plan and what our sign is and what our favorite things are. So we shall start as we always do, going clockwise in the upper left-hand corner of the player section of your screen. We have.
Ah, that's a really good. I should figure out what Dren's birthday is.
Oh, that's a
I
good
don't know what
point.
her sign is.
God damn it, Brian.
Well, no.
The zodiac
Hang
signs.
on.
And
Now I need to come up. We need to come up with the
No.
D&D zodiac.
Yes, we're coming up with favor and constellation.
Okay, we'll do that in table talk.
Yes.
That's fine.
Not right now.
But I never actually established what my birthday was, so now I'm like excited. There's another bit of shit that I get to figure out. I'm Clues, playing Dren my Gemweaver, a Tinker Gnome that's currently just caused a whole shit ton of chaos. Can't wait.
Situation normal. Moving in the clockwise direction.
Oh, that would be me.
Yes.
I'm Viking Goat. I'm playing Cynic Channel Truck, who is a nature domain cleric, and he is a big old softy and a nice guy.
He's
Kinda dumb.
French-shaped.
And listen to that
He's French shaped.
friendship. And listen to that premium audio experience that you're getting now from the Viking Goat.
Is that it? Are you? Oh, you have a mic now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. It's the
I
new
wondered
mic.
what that was. I was like, you got something in your camera, man.
It's like the side of a witch hat.
Oh, it does look like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It might be. You don't know.
you never know.
But moving again
no.
in this,
Oh
in
no,
this-
Sanook's gonna turn into a witch.
in a timely wisdom manner, in a clockwise manner.
I am blind cleric. I am playing Hugon Valander, the human fighter. And I have not given any thought whatsoever about when his birthday is, or what his sign is, or what he likes. And it's not because he doesn't have those things. It's because he probably wouldn't tell anyone.
But you can know, in here.
I know inwardly what they are, and you don't get to.
Have Dren bug Hugon for birthday to make cake that may or may not explode. Winky face.
Hang on.
Yeah, I hate you.
Exploding
Heart.
cake. Things that need to happen. And continuing in the clockwise direction here.
I am Roz, also known as Purple Monkey Robots, and I am playing a tiefling bard who is a follower of Timora and is about 25 years old. But
Nice.
he doesn't know what his birthday was, or if he's actually 25 years old.
It's a guess.
Yeah.
So
Timora is a good goddess. It was actually the first goddess that I ever. That was my first character was a cleric, and that goddess was Timora.
Timora was your first. How sweet.
Yeah, very much so. That's where the blind cleric came from, which we won't get into today.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so and I am Brian. I will be your dungeon master for today's game. So, real quick recap. So, for the folks that are tuning in either for the first time or maybe just nodded off during the last episode, which is entirely possible, or folks that are brand new to our podcast, because apparently we have a lot of folks that listen to our podcast.
Hi, peoples.
Hi, peoples. So, just to bring you guys up to speed here, as mentioned, Acquisitions Incorporated opened a new franchise in Pinedale with exclusive rights to the Chondalwood region, and during a rigorous application and selection process, Drenmai Gemweaver, Thunuk Gentletrunk, and Hugon Valander were selected as the franchisees. During the course of their adventures, they, in order to even just set up headquarters or arrive at headquarters, they uncovered some troubling news that the watch in the Chondalwood from Pinedale had gone missing, making commerce relatively difficult. You can see in the active contracts section now that is one of their open contracts is investigating the watch and helping to restore commerce in that region.
I like how that's part of the contract, and that we've just totally ignored it. It's just at every possible term to investigate the disappearance of the watch. Other shit happens.
Listen, you got
Usually more important.
you have to triage things, right?
Yeah.
As well as the active contract of training the new Pinedale watch, so that way they can help. So you guys have taken some steps, and there is the contract of retrieving giant spider legs.
Yes. And it's not so much as training the Pinedale watch; it's correcting the absolute
Shit show.
fucked upness of how bad they are
Mhm.
at everything that they do.
I need you. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm
I need you
disappointed.
to be better.
And I need you to suck less, like yesterday.
But during the course of serving one of their contracts, which they did complete, which was to help negotiate the establishment of a new mage academy in the Chondalwood proper, Dren was able to help free a member of a rival group's retinue, someone known, a woman known as Laura Lissa Fiedlerson, from the servitude of one of the members of that retinue. But in the process, she accidentally bonded their souls together. So the team has traveled to the Monastery of Shadow to find a cure. and they've been while there, they were tasked with recovering the tome of Abertak, or Aberach, excuse me, which had possibly the answers to solving this particular ailment. And while they're pleased to rid the library of what was infesting it, killing the monks that had been in there, that had made an entire village party who'd gone in there just disappear.
Oof.
During the course of their investigation, they were joined by Eno, the aforementioned tiefling bard of questionable reputation, because they just don't know. And while they're also, Jen temporarily tamed a steel predator, named it Sir Silverton, and also activated chaotic Nutella for the first time, plunging the room they were in, that was chock full of enemies, into darkness. And that is where we left last week's game. So I still have the initiative order from last week. So
Always nice to start with combat. It's always nice to be like, and go.
Let's just get right on into it. I have to say, Matthew Mercer has made me feel more comfortable with just, you know what? Boom.
Fight now.
Get into it. Roll for initiative. Season 2. Get after it. So Drenmai had expended one of her slots here at the behest of Hugon Valander. He basically said, go in there and create chaos.
He sanctioned an act of total chaos.
And this involved falling bookcases, modrons being flung through the air, crystals that were being used to light the room, because generally you don't want open flame in a library. Usually not a good mixture. And it resulted in this room not going absolutely pitch black, but being very, very dark, because some of the crystals are still lit, but they're underneath piles of books, and so there's only partial light going there. But Eno, it is your turn. To set the scene, we're in a very large circular room in this ancient library. This part of the library, before the lights went out, had looked rather disheveled and unkempt. It was discovered down a hallway that was a secret passage, or you had to find a secret door to actually get to this part of the library. There was a large metal construct type thing in the middle of this room with large cables running out of it to what looked like gibbets laying around the other room, where some of the villagers, it looked like folks that were probably from the village, were trapped inside and looked visibly in pain, as well as a couple of monks. They looked visibly in pain as well, trapped in this thing. And there were several duergar around, including one that was yelling out commands to people. Drenmai had gone in there, shut off the lights, and then Eno.
I would like to. Am I within 60 feet of this leader?
Let me see. I believe. Let me pull up my trusty map here. And that paper shuffle was for the ASMR crew out there. Let's see. We said this room was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, about 70 feet across. So yes, that would definitely put you within 60 feet.
All right. So I've got dark vision, and I can, if it's too dark, I can likely see where he is if he's close enough. Mm-hmm. And I would like to cast Fairy Fire. And each object in a 20-foot cube.
On the podcast, Hugon just threw up the horns on this.
It's been horns. It's horns worthy. Listen.
Okay.
Fairy Fire. Okay.
So each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in a blue gray. So I'm going to pick green light, of course. And so it's a DC 15 Dex saving throw for anyone in that 20-foot cube centered around the leader.
All right.
I love that Fairy Fire is a cube now.
Is it?
It did not used to be that way.
Let's see here.
So Fairy Fire is effect, and
it's any creature that's affected by it that fails that saving throw cannot gain invisibility. And basically, it can't benefit from being invisible, or these exact words. And anybody attacking it has advantage.
So it's kind of like if you had an invisible man and threw mystical paint on them.
It's like glitter dust,
Mm-hmm.
but better.
So
My video game brain was basically saying, we've got a HUD on all the enemies, and they're outlined in red.
Essentially, that's exactly what happened, except it's purple.
So he kind of raises his hand, he points at the leader, and he says, illuminate, outline, fumble. And then you see this sort of green.
Ooh, I like this. All right, so I'm going to try this. We're going to see the yellow die here, which reminds me, Clues, I need to talk to you about getting dice because these are trash. So
weighted ones. No.
Listen, your shitty dice have saved our lives on several occasions.
True.
This is true.
You're saying I should weight them so they roll ones.
Makes them shittier.
All right, so what does it say that
These
he's
all
going to do?
all the
15
facets
decks.
say 1.
15. Dex? Ah,
What?
He does not make that save.
Okay. Is there anybody else in that range, or just
There are two other duergar within range. How big is it?
it's a 20-foot cube?
Yeah. Okay. So there are. Hang on, I'm going to mark these down here. So
Okay.
we're going to put a little star on their card. And how long does this last? Is it a concentration deal?
It's concentration 1 minute.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And it affects the peoples?
It affects all objects and creatures that fail the save, and on all objects too. So if there was like an invisible thing there, it would be no longer invisible.
Objects. Okay.
Does it
well.
affect them if they move out of the cube?
Yes.
Interesting.
I looked that up before we started because I was curious if that was the
All right,
case.
so let's do this here. We're going to do a couple more rolls here.
This is what we
nope.
call tack casting.
Okay, they all fail. So what you have here is failure to not illuminate.
Perfect.
You like that. You know you like that. All right, let me grab some. Okay, so we have basically you've got two other duergar besides the gentleman as the name would be.
Oh, and I also want to move over towards that big thing if I can, to start looking at how I can disable
Okay.
this thing. That's my turn.
Okay, that will be your turns. Okay, so I've got them illuminated in the cards here. Okay, I was actually very curious how you were going to do. I was thinking all week or last 2 weeks, what are they going to do? The room's dark. So, Drenmai, do you have dark vision?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, well, this is not a problem for me because I can see just fine.
I think right now the only people in the party who don't have dark vision are Kohan and Loralissa.
Oh,
Do we
Yeah,
all
also.
have dark vision?
Oh, you don't have
Yeah.
dark vision? I thought Furball.
Ooh, interesting.
Nope, just don't believe so. Let me double check.
That's really bizarre. I thought Giants all did.
Well, as it turns out, so you're riding the Steel Predator, and it is Sir Silverton's turn.
Yeah,
And
go Sir Silverton.
He actually has blind sight 30 feet, dark vision 60 feet. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So
So you do not hide from Sir Silverton.
no, there's
Sir Silverton finds you automatically.
you don't find Sir Silverton. Sir Silverton finds you.
And to remind the viewers at home who are at the podcast and also who may have forgotten, a steel predator is essentially a xenomorph that's a quadruped.
Mm-hmm.
It's
but
bad.
I also did find out it's not just a construct; it is a living thing.
Oh
yes,
yes,
it's a living thing.
yes.
Steel predators are badass.
Mm-hmm.
The Jukiti.
Which
I
you
have
can read all
confirmed.
about if you were to get Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, available at Amazon.com
Yes.
or better yet at your local game shop. Anyway, besides that, thus ends the sponsored portion of the program. All right, so what is Sir Silverton gonna do? God damn it!
I don't know. You didn't give me his stats.
He do a bite.
You
Yeah,
do
so
a
he gets,
chomp.
You have a
he
big.
gets basically he's got some pretty crazy movement, and he's got 3 3 attacks. He has a bite and 2 claw attacks that he can do. That you've seen him do.
Okay. Yeah, I want to send him over to chomp. Go chew on the bad guys. Go get yourself a new chew toy. He's a good kitty.
Get yourself a new chew toy. All right, let me
That's a good Doom kitty.
Okay.
Chew.
Now let me make my let's pull up his card here. So that way we can see.
What were the creatures that were inside? Like, what were they?
Odrons and Duergar.
Go get yourself a new duergar.
Get yourself get a new chew toy there. Okay.
Get your
So
toy.
so he's gonna just gracefully like close that distance. Like it's not even like it's almost like instantaneous movement. Just zooms over there. All right, so give me some D20 rolls here.
Okay, how many do I need to roll?
You get an attack. You get 3 attacks. So you get a bite and 2 claws. Each one is a +6.
Jesus.
Okay, so a 16.
Mm-hmm.
That's a blomp, so a 26.
Womp, 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 womp.
And an 11.
And an 11. All right, so one of those claws hits. So
Double damage.
and does double damage. So let me know what you're thinking of here.
What is Schwoomp? You know what? We'll talk about it later.
Let's see. So if I just shut off all the lights, essentially, and there's a bunch of chaos,
Mhm.
I'm thinking just bounce over the stuff to go after whatever's closest to us.
Right. Yeah, I can see it was kind of like almost like a fluid motion, right? So as Sir Silverton was bouncing off of the bookshelves and knocking them over,
Mhm.
and then as the one is like falling over, right? It like
Yes.
leaps off of it like as it's angled the right direction and goes for a little claw attack there.
A little bit of classic Duke.
Yeah, I
off of the
want
bookshelf.
full kitty movement. Just
Oh,
bing, bing,
hang
bing,
on a
bing.
second.
Chomp, chomp, swipe, swipe.
Roll 2 of those other ones again because you do get advantage with the fairy fire being active.
2 d20s.
So
That's 7. So
that's
that was
worse.
1.
That's
And that's a 10.
those are both worse numbers. That didn't.
Yeah, we're gonna use a
It
different.
availed you
D20.
nothing.
We're gonna grab it.
So let's see. Give me a. Here, we'll see. And so I'll roll this. We'll do the damage here. So it's double. Actually, no. I'll let you roll that. So roll a d6.
A d6.
Yeah.
Let's use the really big casino one. The 5. No, I'm not
Okay,
kidding.
so-
It's huge.
It was a 5.
Yeah, 5.
Okay, so that's 10 plus 4, so 14 points of damage.
Nice.
Chomp, chomp, bite, bite, swap, swap. I can make this a song.
Chomp, chomp, swap, swap. Oh. Okay, so yeah, he's able to get the claws in there, but the duergar just, kind of just like grits his teeth and takes it, and
He grumbles through it.
he just grumbles through it, and now he's like, oh,
Oh, god damn
I'm gonna
it.
get you for that.
I'm a grumpy dwarf.
But before he can take an action, Hugon,
Okay.
what is it you would like to do? Chaos has abounded here. Now,
Yes.
you've gotten some. Your 3 of your targets have been painted.
Are there any foes between Hugon and the leader? Can he get there without having to go around people?
No, you would have to go through one. I'm probably using the wrong word here, or at least the wrong word from the DM perspective. You have to go through one of the duergar in order to get to.
All right. Well, we're
the
going
leader.
through that Duergar.
Which is exactly as I'm saying that. I'm like,
Duergar is now a Dorgar. I can do it too. See, I'm not the only one. Y'all aren't the only ones who can do puns.
Okay, so
right,
I
so
can be
let's-
just as terrible with words.
Let's roll up and kill that son of a bitch.
okay, let's you know what? Let's give that a shot. So he is painted with the
Delicious.
with the green light.
Delicious.
Green light.
Green line.
So yeah, let's get
Green fairy fire. Okay, so first attack.
Green fairy fire.
I also get 3 attacks, by the way.
Oh dear God.
I have a.
Oh
I believe
man.
that's a 16 to hit or a 17. Let me just double check real quick.
What are you looking to do?
I'm trying to hit on a 16. on
Oh,
this duergar.
16 hits.
Okay, cool. So that's attack 1.
Okay.
Attack 2 is another 16.
Yep, that hits.
And bonus action attack is a 16.
Oh my God. Yeah, all 3 hit. Jesus.
So that is 2d10 plus a d4
Jesus Christ.
all together. So let us do this.
Nice.
2d10.
My Lord.
And because I'm a great weapon fighter, if I roll a 1 or a 2 on these dice, I am allowed to re-roll them, but I must keep the second result.
Mm-hmm.
So, bam. I have a 1 on 1 die, so I'm going to re-roll. And that's a 10. Delicious. I have, let's see, 2. And now for the d4. I have 28 points of damage over 3 attacks.
All right. So describe to me what happens here, because that exceeds. There are not going to be any healthcare options available for this duergar in order to fix what you're about to do to him.
Thanks to you, he's out of network now.
He's out of
He's out of network.
Yeah, he's out of network. He does not have the proper
Even
referrals.
with the Affordable Cleric Act, there's
Wow.
not much that can be done.
No,
for the duergar.
not in this case. Listen, sometimes
Sometimes it happens.
sometimes you walk
So-
into a chipper shredder, and this
Sometimes
is-
you walk into a very, very angry human fighter, or he walks into you. Hugon closes the distance like he's been shot from a crossbow,
Okay.
and he is basically doing a dive with the pointed end of his halberd into the duergar, then sweeping the legs out with the haft,
Mhm.
and then bringing the axe head just
oh
down
man,
onto that.
I love this. I'm seeing like him almost running up, doing like that samurai run where the halberd is like almost like dragging behind him, and just
Have you ever seen God, what's the name of that film? Shit.
that doesn't sound like a film I would like to see.
No, shut up. I can't remember the name of the film. Maybe it was one of the Clash of the Titans films. But like they do this weird jump thing where they've got the shield in front and the spear coming down.
Oh, 300.
Was that 300?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I blocked that out.
Yeah, where
But
they come. Yeah, and they.
yeah, that's exactly what Hugon does, minus the shield.
Okay. Oh no.
And so
You're
just
thinking of
drives him into the ground.
Oh, anyway, we'll talk that. Yeah, no, I could.
Yeah, we'll talk like that.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. So there. Yeah. You bring the axe handle down, and it just pierces right through the sternum, and like you feel the thing bottom out on the stone of the floor beneath, and there's just like this coughing of the black blood, just, coughs that just blurts out, and just as the and then this-
Hugon looks back over his shoulder and goes 1 to Kohan.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Now it is Laura Lissa's turn, and she you had asked her to disappear into the shadows
And also assassinate the shit out of that leader.
and try to assassinate. So that's what she's gonna. So as you're doing this, she just
Subtly
sort of-
rogue, go!
Yeah, she just sort of materializes out of the shadows from behind the leader here. So this time, let's see. I think we're gonna do. No, this round we'll stay with our jeweled yellow D20 here
With advantage.
with advantage.
With
Well,
delicious,
she's gonna need it.
delicious advantage.
She's gonna need it. Okay, that no, does not quite do it. She like disappears when you gave her when you set the plan in motion, she like basically melted into the shadows. And it only helped her to have the lights in the room turned out as abruptly and all the chaos that was erupting. And now her target is brightly lit, but still, as she goes to land, she like has this bladed whip that she uses out, and she tries to almost like land on the duergar leader's back. And he's basically able, as she lands, he's able to just basically just shrug her off. He's as wide as he is tall. He's just all shoulder.
He's a thick dwarf.
He is, yeah.
He's got that extra C on there.
Mm-hmm. So he's able to basically just shrug her off, but she doesn't fall prone. She's almost like when you do the wall run, you kind of
a little bit of a roll, bit of a roll going on.
Yeah. So that is her turn. So, as all of this happens, Hugon.
Yes.
Behind you.
Okay.
A duergar appears, one that you had not seen before. And you can see he's wearing like some slightly different armor than the rest of them. But he appears out of nowhere, so he gets a sneak attack on you.
All right.
And he's going to take a little swingy swing at you.
A little bit of swingy swing.
Little bit of a swing. Okay, and it does. And
he is not fairy fired, to be clear.
He was out of range of that. Does an 18 hit?
It just hits. Yes. Okay. 18 is Hugon's AC.
All right, so let's see what he does here. He does. Let's see if I have enough dice. He does 7 points. So he pulls out this knife, and it's like you notice him right as he, like predators out of nowhere, right behind you, and he comes up and he's able to get this knife like just into one of the chinks of your armor and get a little cut in there. Nothing that you haven't felt before, but it does do 7 points of slashing damage.
It's worth noticing. Let's say that.
Yes. Yeah, you don't not notice.
You don't not notice.
Yes. And then a second one does the same thing. He predators out, but he comes out behind the He comes out. Actually, make a note of this so that way we don't. You're going after Hugon. The other one comes after Sir Silverton.
That's a ballsy dwarf. I'm going to attack this giant metallic cat creature.
Have you met a dwarf who's not?
That's true.
So this gray, white bearded, eyes are just white, just kind of forms out of nothing and comes up right at the rear haunch, almost like if it were a organic animal, he'd be going for like the hamstring right there, and he goes in, and that's jacked. And hang on. What is the? Yes, he's able to hit. So he comes in there and does
he do a stab.
He does another stabby stab there. What's 9 and 4? 13. Okay.
Yep.
So. No. Yes, I can't do math. Yes, I can. Okay. All right. And he's able to get the knife in between some of the like right in the joint, and Sir Silverton doesn't really like react. I mean, he like the there's a jerk, from having the knife in there, but there's like a deep guttural growl that reverberates deep inside his chest.
You have angered the kitty.
You have angered kitty. And now the other duergar, the one that is fairy fired.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of duergar in this room.
There are a lot of duergar in this room.
There's more than I thought.
This duergar decides he is too going to come after you to try to Hugon to try to avenge his fallen brethren. So he comes running up on you, and actually, I think that's an action. Hang on one second. He might not actually be attacking this round. Yep. So as he's encroaching on you, he starts to basically just start swelling up.
Is this the duergar that Sir Silverton attacked?
No.
Okay.
No, this is not the main guy. This is This is one of the other ones. He starts swelling up and growing up to this. He's starting to get up to like 12, 15 feet. Like he's starting to get to be almost like Thunnock sized
Okay.
at this.
A little bit bigger than Thunnock, probably even.
Maybe it's possible that he is.
If it's 50, mm-hmm.
He because
Dwarf becomes giant.
So that's his move.
That's okay. We're still gonna kill him.
Yes. So now the main guy, the main duergar, he is going to make a break for the construct in the middle of the room. So because he's trying to do this really quickly, Drenmai, give me another D20 roll here.
Does Laura Lissa get one too?
An attack. Oh, she's gonna get one too. Yeah, an attack of opportunity here.
That's 15.
No, that
Plus
would be
whatever.
that was for Sir Silverton, right?
Wait, yeah, that's 15 on the die, isn't it?
15 on the die. I don't know whatever he gets. added.
Oh, no, that hits.
Okay.
Okay, so give me a
Chomp, chomp, bite, bite, slap, slap.
Yeah.
give me a. Well, I actually had you roll the wrong die last time. Give me a D8. Give me a healthy D8 there. And Drenmai, you would get an attack of opportunity as
7.
well.
Oh, the rider.
The rider gets an attack because hey, you're still kind of taking up the same space.
What do I get to roll?
Just a
Melee
D20.
attack.
This is basically just anything you want to do. Yeah, it's basically you get an attack of opportunity. So.
I'm not gonna hit because I rolled a 5. I'm not even bother. I'm just going wee on the back of Sir Silverton.
Okay. And then Laura Liss is gonna take her attack of opportunity here. And
My D8 was a 7.
Oh yeah, I got that.
Okay.
So yeah, he's able to get a little. He's able to put a little stank on it right as the duergar tries to get away here, and Laura Liss is able to get another little smack in there as well as he goes by, and that's another. 4 + 4. No, she does another 8 damage.
Righteous.
But he basically again just kind of just like grits his teeth through it, and he runs over to this to this large construct in the middle of the room and steps into it. As he steps in, the thing appears to almost like power on, like he gets into like his own like caged area in it, and the thing rises to its feet, and it's got these 2 enormous arms sticking out of the shoulders are almost level with the top, and it's got 2 enormous arms sticking out of it. There's lights that come on inside the cockpit that he's sitting in. You hear like this a sound of it like a boom as a hum.
A hum filled with portent.
Yes. Fills the air, and this thing stands up. He's still glowing on the inside of this, but he's now inside this construct that has all of the cables running to the other. I keep on wanting to say giblets, and that's not right.
Gibbets.
The gibbets, not the giblets. That's a whole other show.
That's what the Duergar is on the ground. He's not giblets.
You're looking to remove them. Thunnock.
As I recall, Thunnock is tasked with rescuing these poor people who are stuck in these gibbets.
Yes.
How many are there again? You said 6?
Yes, there are 6.
Okay. And they're all attached to the wired up or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it like they've been these wires are like bound to them, or are they like inserted into them?
Are the wires bound to the person, or
are they wired up like they're tied with the wires, like shackled, or are we talking Matrix style here, where like
They've
they're
basically
in
been-
pods.
So yeah, they're
Somebody
basically
came
in
after
this
'em with a
pod,
soldering
and there's
iron.
a cable that runs to the pod and is like attached to the pod. You're not sure of what might be a part of the inner workings in there.
I'm going to need some DM assistance on something here.
Okay,
A
that's what
call,
this is
really.
what I'm here for, to make your life easier.
Where did it go? There it is. No, it says creatures. Damn it. Can't do that then. What Thunic will do then is he's going to start bashing on, or these just look like they could open, or do they look like they're locked? Wait, can I even see? Fairy fire only does so much in the way of
Yeah,
lighting.
it
right?
is low light, so you would be doing a lot of things at disadvantage. You're not able to see very well. You have enough. There's enough light that you're not blind, and you can kind of get an idea of where these things are.
Mhm.
But you would definitely have a like some disadvantage when attempting some, depending on what you want to do.
I'm going to touch the floor.
Okay. So gravity.
I'm going to touch the floor, and I'm going to cast light on the 20-foot section patch of the floor.
Oh.
Disco style.
Okay.
Unless there's like a pillar or something, like a series of pillars I can grab, like on the way there. But he's thinking as fast on his feet as he possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing he can think of is, I can't see anything. The closest thing at hand to me is the floor.
It's not a bad idea at all.
Mhm.
He touches the floor and he casts light.
Okay. So you basically turn the floor into like the disco dance floor.
Yeah.
And so does this go with you, or are you doing it on a specific area, or?
It does not go with me. It is a 20-foot. It's an object. Is how it's supposed to work. Actually, I didn't take the card out, so I have to check on good old D&D Beyond.
Mhm.
You touch one object that is no larger than 10 feet in any dimension. Until the spell ends, the object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for each additional 20 feet. For an additional 20 feet, rather.
Okay.
The light can be colored as you like, completely covering the object with something opaque blocks the light. Spell ends if you cast it again or dismiss it as an action.
Okay, so the way I would see this working is you wouldn't be able to illuminate like the floor, but the blocks, the tiles themselves that comprise the blocks.
Mhm.
So as you touch the floor, like this light flows out of you in like to where like the seams are, and as it like flows out and like kind of grids its way out, it starts illuminating individual blocks until you get that effect radius.
Okay.
And you have a better idea of what's going on in the room now. So you can see now where the gibbets are.
Okay.
And you can also see where the giblets are from that one duergar that has a halberd sticking in his chest.
Yes, you're welcome.
You can see both. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
I forget we didn't cover. Are they locked in, or can these things be opened?
You think with an act of strength you might be able to pull the lids off of these things.
Okay.
You also a quick look tells you there's you could pull that off. There's a few ways to tackle this program and this problem, and this is definitely one of them.
Thunic is going to bash him open with this shillelagh.
I love it.
Okay, so give me just give me a normal D20 roll on that, because it is a stationary object. We just need to see how
much it gets hit.
How much it gets hit.
How much does your bonk do? You know, is it an aggressive bonk or is it a baby bonk?
Let's see. 23.
23. That's a pretty good bonk on that.
That's a serious bonk.
So you're able to you.
That's at least journeyman level.
There's some certifications involved.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're able to take a good side swipe at this thing and jar the cage portion, the top of this portion loose, and to the point where you would be able to move it. But that would be your action, because now you've done your spell and you've taken a swing.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I could do.
Yeah, that is your turn.
Yeah.
Kohand, it is now his turn. What did you direct him to do again?
He was with me on the way to the leader.
Okay, So he's going to move in and attempt to do some nice damage of some sort to this leader over here.
Okay.
And he's able. He is successful with that. Well, actually, let me do the
Nice.
double. Let me see if he gets the... No, of course he wouldn't get a natural 20. So he gets... Oh, my lord. 1d12 plus 6.
Nice.
Where is my 12-sided die? The
The
red-headed
old
stepchild.
D12.
So he does, because math, 10 points of damage to
Nice.
the machine here.
Nice.
All right. So okay, that's his turn, and Dren, 'tis your
Yay!
turn.
Yay!
Your turn.
I want to go after the boy that tried to attack Mr. Sir Silverton.
The one that wwent after his haunch.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't like him.
No,
I'm mad at him.
Well, you exactly. He hurt the kitty.
He hurt the kitty, and is he wearing any armor by chance?
Who the duergar?
Whoever attacked Mr.
He
Kitty.
is. He is in fact.
Okay, good. Good.
Oh, God. This can't possibly end well.
So I wanna let's see if I have to. I want to go up to him, and I'm gonna tell Mr. Sir Silverton to get close to him. Then we kind of rub my hands, and I'm gonna try and do shocking grasp. So I'm
Ooh.
basically gonna try to give him a nice big on either side of, like, if he has a helmet, and knock the shit out of his brain. I do
Hold
have to
still.
make
There may be
let's
some
spell
momentary discomfort.
Don't like you. 18 hit.
An 18 does hit.
Sweet.
So how is this going to work here?
I'm gonna ride Mr. Sir Silverton over. I would be like, "Don't touchy kitty!" Like on either side of his head. For 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay.
Lightning, if it matters. And he can't move for a turn.
Oh, so he's stuck in place because he's kind
Yeah,
of
he can't take reactions and stuff
Okay.
until the start of next turn.
I like how it's
No
essentially that
today.
she works up like a static shock. Like she has a sock that she just like rubs, like a woolen sock that she just rubs.
It's like when you're doing for the things. Oh, that when you're trying to get somebody back alive, you rub them together.
Yeah, defibrillator.
Yeah,
You just
that's what,
defibrillate
like
his
with
head.
the hands.
Your head appears to be fibrillating. Let me defibrillate.
And so as you do that, you see a group of the Modrons run over to one of the gibbets, and they take the wires and they like adjust the wire and like really you hear chunk and plug it in, and you see like a faint glow along the cable run from that one not giblet but giblet. God damn it! I'm gonna get this
Gibbet.
right eventually.
Gibbet.
Gibbet.
Call them gibbies.
Don't do that.
Pod from the pod.
Just calls them cages. I mean,
Cage's pod runs from that to the back of this this now construct, this armor that the head duergar had climbed into. And as they do that, you could kind of see the person inside like kind of like stiffen up and like the back arches. No scream or yell or anything like that, but you could see maybe like the breath quickens a little bit as this happens. Eno,
How tall is this mechanical monster that's right in front of me right now?
about 15 feet tall.
Okay.
So there are two 15-foot tall creatures.
Yes, one is
Okay.
metal,
The other is flesh.
one is flesh.
Ah, all right.
What there is one that is not 15 feet tall that is still twitching from the halberd embedded in his spine.
Well, there's a couple that are like that.
Yeah.
There's a couple.
Okay. And is he looking out of he's looking out of a cockpit up
Mhm.
there?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to well, this is what I'm going to do, and tell me if it works. So Eno looks up at the duergar leader, and he goes, "In the darkest of night."
In the darkest of night.
And darkness spreads from a point that's right in front of the cockpit in a 15-foot radius sphere
Ooh.
for 10 minutes. And so what I think happens is I'm not sure if that dispels his fairy fire because I cast fairy fire at first level. I don't know.
Is fairy fire concentration?
It is concentration. This is not concentration.
No, then it wouldn't interfere with that. No.
Okay. So I guess he's still fairy fired then, but there's darkness around his mech, so he can't see to move to attack, hopefully.
I like it.
Now the question becomes, are you still able to see the fairy fire even though it's active?
Well,
so what's the spell called?
It's just darkness.
It's just darkness. Yeah.
Darkness.
Darkness.
So, and I'm casting that.
God. Someone has to cast Magic Missile at the darkness, please.
Magical darkness spreads from a point you choose within a range to fill a 15-foot radius sphere for the duration. The darkness spreads around corners. A creature with dark vision cannot see through this darkness, and non-magical light cannot illuminate it.
But fairy fire is magical
fairy fire
light.
is magical light.
So we could still... Go ahead.
Yes, I'm going to agree with that. I'm going to say that based on that, now you really have like the true like HUD display where all you're seeing is like the outline of this dwarf sitting in the thing.
Extraordinary. I love it.
And yeah.
I'm going to move away from it towards Hugon, not like right next to Hugon, but
more like behind him.
Kind of like near him, so because like I want to help him because he's got at least one, right? One or two
on
him. Present, he's got two on him.
Yeah.
You've got the one you killed. You've got the construct right in front of you. You've got the one that was approaching you, Hugon. That's now that grew to be about 15 feet tall. There's still two of the other ones that melded out. One, you've got. It's right. You do have the other one. The other. Yes.
It's a target environment.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to point to Hugon and I'm going to say, "You can do it, man." And I'm going to give him a bardic inspiration. So you have a 1d8 for 10 minutes on one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. You can add a 1d8.
That's
nice.
Awesome. I love bardic inspiration.
Nice.
Out of curiosity, and you don't have to like say this in character, but what college is Eno?
Lore.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Duquesne. Duquesne University.
Hard Knocks, man.
Hard Knocks College.
I learned from Phoenix.
That's the end of my turn.
So now we're back up to Sir Silverton's role in this melee.
Chomp, bite, /.
Yes. What are you suggesting that he does?
Well, I just grabbed onto the duergar's head, so I'm picturing like I'm just here. He's gonna come in and bite the lower half as I'm holding on to the upper half.
I like it.
Bite, swipe.
God. Okay. Yes. You may by all means do that. Give me some d20s.
Okay.
Give me some d20s there. It's +6 to.
+6.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 19.
That hits.
A 20.
That hits.
And a 16.
That does not hit. So your first one, the bite, that's a 1d6 + 4.
9.
9, okay. And then your next one, your one claw that is able to get in there and root around and try to find out, what his
fleshy tidbits.
What his insides look like, what his giblets look like. 1d8 + 4.
Let's see. Where's my d8? There it is. 9.
Okay. He is not looking good. For a whole host of reasons. It could be that he just took an electric shock to the brain. It could be that that this big steely beast
is eating the shit out of him.
Just had a premium tasting experience. out of one of the lower limbs, while a claw, like that back claw, comes up and just rakes at his
Like a
gut.
dog chomps on it and it does like this.
Yeah,
at
just kind of
something.
gets in there and he is not
Digs around.
he's not looking good. Well, no, I take that back. To Sir Silverton, he's looking finger licking good.
Nom 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 nom.
He's looking like all the noms.
This is a duergar value meal.
It is.
Exactly. We like special.
A lot of calories packed into a tiny package. It's
Indeed. Almost as much as the gnome. Oh, did I say that out loud?
but a little saltier. Hugon.
Hugon is surrounded by enemies, and this is happy. This is happy time. Hugon does not hate this. So he has a 15-foot tall construct with a duergar inside of it, encased in darkness. He has a 15-foot tall duergar bearing down on him. And he has a duergar rogue of some kind behind him. Do I have that about right?
You have that about right. I'd say it's a pretty good summary of the situation.
Let's go after the rogue.
That's usually a good way to go.
Let's go after the rogue.
Isn't that like the first rule of combat? Kill the rogue?
No. The first rule of combat is kill the caster. The second rule of combat is
Kill the healer.
Find the rogue.
Yeah, find the rogue. And then stab. I found him.
And then found him. Yeah. All right. So 3 attacks on the rogue duergar.
Okay.
I have a 21 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
I have a I do not have advantage on these. Is this correct?
That is correct because he was not in the range of the.
Okay, so that one is an 11. I assume that misses.
That would be a miss. Yeah.
Okay, and I have that's a 10, so that misses. So one hit.
That is not a number required.
1 hit.
So you get 1 hit. Yep.
I have a 13 damage.
Okay. So let's see. That would bring it down to. Okay.
And I would like to position myself so that. Damn it! I forgot to do a battle master maneuver. It's okay. Next turn, I'll do it.
Okay.
I would like to try and position myself so that I'm not in between all of these foes.
Oh, right. Well, battle master is disengage a bonus action?
No, that can be one of the things that he does, but I have several different things. I'm just trying to reflect my move action as a don't let the rogue behind me anymore.
I gotcha. That would make sense. Okay. I just imagine like you go like, okay, as you start maneuvering and then there's just like, standing right there like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
You were my meat shield.
No, I don't like this. No. Okay.
And
so
the requests. He brings up the loot. So Laura Lissa is going to move in now on the 15-foot tall duergar of the fleshy variety.
I also need to remember to take my attacks of opportunity when people enter my stuff. I keep forgetting.
when they enter your shit.
When they enter the zone of hurt.
So that is that's enough. Or no, wait, that's the wrong one. That's still enough. That's that's enough. Jesus. All right. So she's going to go and do this kind of damage to this guy. That's a jack die. Oh my God, you are trash.
Come on, Laura Lissa. Come on, Laura Lissa.
Well, she's able to do 6 points of damage to the larger one. She's able, a knife comes out, and she's able to slip around behind it and get like right at the Achilles tendon, and just swipes it across. So she's able to get a little something in there, a little something to grab his attention. But now the one that you just tried to turn into a pincushion, Hugon, is now going to take a swing at you.
Oh, that's all right.
Okay.
I don't especially mind
that. 17.
That is a miss.
17 misses. So with your maneuver, that you did, you were able to get him just off balance. Yeah, your little maneuver at the end, you were able to get the attack in and move just enough so now he's off balance and was not quite able to get that attack in. And it glances off of some of your armor. You're able to sort of like, just sort of get like one of your just one of like your gauntlets in the way and just like kind of like box it out of the way there.
Yes.
Now the one that's going after Sir Silverton, the kitty, is going to take his opportunity now. He's going to try to go after the kitty once again. He does recognize giant metallic murder cat as main threat. And is that enough? It is enough. So he's able to get in there again. He's able to do a little bit more damage. He does another 8 points of damage to Sir Silverton. But Sir Silverton is doing fine. He's figuring it out. He's got some plans.
Him's a good kitty.
Plots. For now. There is a time limit on this spell, we know.
I got 8 hours. We can be friends for 8 hours.
And then, well, and then the one that the 15-foot tall beastie, Hugon, is now going to take a swing at you. Still trying to avenge his fallen comrade.
All right.
And no, that does not hit. A 13, I'm imagining, would miss you.
It does miss me.
So it's feeling again off balance. It's not really sure where to go. So now the armored fellow, the one in the giant thing here, he's just gonna swing wildly. So I'm gonna need we're gonna do it. We're gonna do an attack here, and he's just gonna swing wildly. And if anyone's in range, he's just gonna kind of do a sweep. We'll see if it hits. So he's gonna do. God no, that's trash. So that's a 13. Does a 13 hit anyone?
Nope.
No.
No.
My AC's 13.
Oh. He just catches you.
Oh no.
Just gets you. Actually, no. Hang on. No. I take that back. No, he hits you. I forgot he was.
Is this the construct?
Yeah, it is the construct. Yeah.
Did you roll with disadvantage for the darkness?
I just did.
Okay.
And the lower one is the one that had
right,
just enough to hit. The second roll was better. So he is going to do. Oof. 15 points of damage.
Ow.
Okay.
And you are knocked prone.
That sucks.
He's just the thing just sort of swings wildly and it catches you with a backhand. And just catches you full on in the chest, just blunt damage. Wind is knocked out of you. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yep, and that is what he is going to do. You hear some cursing in Undercommon coming from the darkness around this thing.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Yeah, it's Thunic.
How large is this room again?
70 foot across.
How far away are these guys?
What do you mean?
Like I'm by the. I'm going to call them the batteries.
Yeah.
I'm by the batteries.
Yeah, you're over there, so you're probably a good 30 feet away. They're going around the room, so you're a good. The construct and all this kind of like combat's happening right in the center of the room. That's where the construct was. So when you made your first move over to the first battery, that was the you're still good. Like you're about 30 feet away, so you're out of range of that wild melee swing.
No, I was thinking about something else. And these Modrons are helping them.
Yes, it would appear so. Yes.
Simply cracking these batteries open to get the people out is is that counting as my removing them, or do I have to spend an action to do that, or a bonus action?
I'll take it if you crack the lid open on the thing. That would count as the battery not being operative.
Okay. So I'm just going to go over to the one that's already plugged in,
Mm-hmm.
where the guy is being juiced.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to whack Shillelagh the cable portion.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Then let us do another attack.
Let's get another good journeyman bonk in there.
Yeah, let's see if you get promoted.
Maybe even a night school one.
Hey, listen.
Is
Is that a 20?
Womp 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 womp
Yep.
womp.
Golf clap for Thunok.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's roll some damage on that, because I think last time we didn't do damage because it was just. But I think with a crit, I think it
Alright.
deserves. I want to see what happens here.
Shillelagh is a D8 plus 4. Man, that almost landed on a 6, but it's a 3, so 7.
So double it. Nice.
Oh,
No, so
so
it'll be 3, 3, 6 plus 4, so 11. You double the dice roll, then you add any of your bonuses.
I thought it
okay.
was flat double across the board.
No, it's a double of the dice roll.
Oh, okay.
You could either where you roll 2 dice, or you just the way we run it is you're just gonna double it.
Double it.
It's
Okay,
double.
well,
So
in that
just
case,
don't
10.
roll a 1.
It's 10 then, because 3 plus 3 plus 4.
That is how math works. Yes.
Yes.
So that one, as you bring it down, you actually are able to dent, like as you swing on the lid of this.
Mhm.
The last one, you were able just to like knock it free, right? And it
Mhm.
kind of like clattered off. This one, this one's dented. This one is not. You would think you would not be able to do a field repair on this. This is going to require someone to bang out some dents for it to fit on and work properly again.
So he busted the cable housing essentially.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, this is
Just destroyed it.
yeah, this is like some of the pins are missing from the serial thing, you know,
Rip.
or when
Oh,
the USB
no!
gets bent in the middle and you can't.
It's a 16-pin
it's-
serial. And
yeah.
it's all fucked up on the inside.
It's now a 6-pin serial, and it's not
a Modron comes over and is like, "Fuck, I have to talk to the sysadmin."
God damn it! I have to go to Best Buy. It was just there.
Okay,
I knew I
return
should
the
have
stick.
bought the 3-pack.
So I meant to ask this beforehand. So attacking a stationary inanimate object,
Mhm.
is that an action, or would that be more of a bonus action?
Make your case.
Effectively, it's there. You don't really have to worry about missing unless you're really goof it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no resistance. It's like chopping cordwood.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
wood's not trying to dodge you.
Yeah, unless you've never chopped wood before.
In which
You're
case,
going to
it is
chop the
always
wood.
trying to dodge you.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm not going to bother to look it up right now. So for right now,
Mhm.
I will accept your argument that it is a bonus action to
Okay.
smash that thing.
I
will accept your premise until such time as I can consult the tomes of lore, and
Until I can prove you wrong.
no. Well,
right.
listen, I don't know the answer. So when in doubt, err on the side of what's going to be the most awesome thing, and I have a feeling he's planning something. So
These Modrons are jerks. These giant things that are bigger than me are jerks. These duergar are jerks. I get the feeling I'm going to be walking towards jerks. Spirit Guardians is happening.
Oh,
no!
God.
Oh no! It's fucking on, ladies and gents.
did you cast this before?
Never. I cast
Oh.
Spiritual Weapon before.
That's right. So, what do your spiritual guardians look like?
Okay, so I've been tossing some ideas around in my head, and this is what I wanted to look like. Have you ever seen a glitter lava lamp?
Yes.
I think
All
so.
right.
Yeah.
Now
Absolutely.
imagine these glitter particles in the
Mhm.
glitter lava lamp
Uh-huh.
undulating around me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
each one particles of this glitter is actually something like one of those Phantom Zone mirror things.
Oh,
but you see various seasons in each one of these.
interesting.
Ooh.
So basically, you become a semi-globular stained glass window through which one can see different periods of time.
Yes, and
Okay.
and me walking towards you or you walking towards me.
I mean,
is-
you've
is
channeled
bad.
some elder god shit.
and
Clearly,
this is like almost like your walk like death by 1,000 cuts.
Yes.
Like so if I remember anything that starts its turn in that radius.
Anything. Yeah, anything that starts its turn. So you. When you cast a spell, I can designate any number of creatures I want to be unaffected. So everyone in the party
Mm-hmm.
and all the people inside the batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And since Metallic Kitty is being Nice Kitty,
Mm-hmm.
is also immune. But every affected creature's speed is halved inside this area. When the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts their turn in this area, they have to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed saving throw, they take 3d8 radiant damage.
that's hurtful.
That's just mean. That's just mean.
I like it. There's
Man.
nothing that says "get the fuck away from my party" like an aura of hatred around a cleric.
Well, this is more of an aura of concern because
I know,
it's like
but,
all
like-
these people are like, it's like these people are hurting, and these
When
these
you turn that
people are
on,
jerks.
it means that somebody has erred.
Yes.
Someone has erred.
And it's time to correct them.
This is a room full of jerks, and they need to understand that they need to stop being jerks.
Stop hitting my friends.
Okay, so does that mean this round though any of the Modrons that might be, and what's the range on it?
15 feet
15
radius.
foot radius. Okay, so any of the Modrons that might be in your area, they would have to do their saving throw?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Does not make it. So a couple of them are right on the edge of your cloud here. Your cloud of sparkles. And it
The
just
seasonal phantom zone.
yeah, and you hear it ding, 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 and it sounds almost like rocks pelting on metal.
Have you ever put a ball bearing into a blender?
Yeah,
Oh god.
that's kind of what it is. Yeah, yeah.
Ah! It fills even you with fear. Like, oh, ah.
God. What have I done?
And you hear this little and as they get take little chips of damage and like kind of try to hunker down and like not be shredded by the tiny little sparkles. Crowhand now, or does that end your turn?
It does, but are they taking damage for this?
Oh yes, they are. Yes.
All right.
So
So
let's get some damage.
roll all my d8s.
You only have 3?
Well, I only have 3 out.
Oh,
Out right now.
13.
ugh.
Okay. So yeah, they're looking pretty beat up. Like smoke is starting to like kind of like steam. You know, there's like smoke rising from the different holes that they now have in them. From the sparkles just going bing bing ding 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 ding. You know, it's puncturing.
They're clearly
them.
having problems with their radiators.
Yes, exactly. Yes, the belts are being thrown. There's squealing noises coming from inside as like things aren't, gears aren't lining up properly. Quohand is going to go after the big boy. The big
Yes, the mech dwarf.
the mech dwarf, because it's the biggest thing in the room, and that's just how he rolls. Well, let's see how he rolls. So he gets a that's Jack. Whoa! Bwomp, 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 bwomp.
Really?
Nat 20. Nat 20.
Nice.
So that obviously hits. So he's gonna do again that D12. Where's that delicious D12? There it is. So he gets this. Then he rolls a 1. Rolls a 1 on the D12. So okay, double that. Yeah, he gets in there and he looks pretty pretty convinced that he's got the right of it. And he makes solid contact with like the knee joint of this thing, but not much beyond that really happens.
Is Kohan raging right now?
He is not raging.
Okay, I couldn't remember because you said his rage was a very controlled rage, so I wasn't sure
Yes,
if
it's
he'd done.
cold. It's a cold rage.
It's frosty.
A frosty rage. Available at the nearest Dairy Queen.
Ooh.
So and then another group of Modrons goes and plugs in. They run over to another one of the batteries, pods, cages, and they plug in. You can see them like twist, chunk, another one of the cables in. And that cable, you can see the glowing, almost arcane symbols. Looks like they light up as they go. And you hear that hum from the where you see the person inside one of the villagers do the same thing where they kind of like stiffen up, and it's like almost all the muscles are seizing at the same time, and that glowing energy flows down the cable into the back of the mech, and you can hear like a second. It almost sounds like another turbine spinning up inside of it.
No, we don't like this.
Dren. Drenmai, Gem Weaver, spelled with a J, not with a G.
So let's see. I've held on to his head. Kitty's holding on to the bottom side. I think I'm gonna let go, and I just want to take my staff and just crack him across the head.
Ooh, we're getting some melee from the
Melee sorcerer,
from the
go!
Twitter.
Pretty much. He's really close to me, and I'm like, don't like it.
Go away!
Just
Go
double-handed,
away.
Wonk.
So,
don't hit my kitty.
Does a 22 hit?
A 22 does hit.
Sweet. Okay.
Pretty good roll for it, melee on a sorcerer.
Yeah, for a gnome.
I know. Well, I get +5 to hit on that.
She's a strong-ass gnome.
I know. Literally, my strength is, well, besides my intelligence, but my strength is my second highest.
Well, you got to figure she does a lot of tinkering, so it's a lot of lifting and hefting those parts around the shop.
Exactly. That's a what do I get? +2, so that's a 7. Yeah, 7. Okay,
Ooh.
so 7 damage to him.
Okay.
I play baseball with his head.
So you crack him really good, and as you do that, it's like you get him right in the craw, face, nasal
there.
region, and the nose, which, let's face it, dwarves have pretty prominent noses to begin with. The nose is less three-dimensional than it was a second ago. Kind of like flattened out against the face. This big burst of like black blood just comes pouring out of it.
Yes.
You know, almost immediately like blood vessels burst in the eye just from, I mean, you cracked him really, really good. He's going to be on a liquid diet for a while.
Good.
Possibly the next 6 seconds. Because he is
Yeah.
not looking good. He's in a way. He feels a certain kind of way right now. And it is not positive about the life choices that he's made up to this point. Eno.
I am so I can see the leader because he's still illuminated.
He is illuminated.
And
there's
and
this ghostly green outline, like almost like you're almost seeing like very stylistically, like only the outline of his nose and like almost like on one side, you know, where it's like the illumination's just around.
Like a very interesting hologram.
Yes.
So I'm going to get up, grab a brush, and I'm going to get up. I'm going to point to him, and I'm going to say, "You should probably go now. You're going to die like really soon." And he's got to make a wisdom DC 15 saving throw.
Oof.
Oh, that's amazing. You need to leave. It's really dangerous and like you're gonna die.
No one likes you.
It's extraordinary. I love it.
All right. You see, like, wait, what was the? Yeah.
DC 15 wisdom.
Okay. So there's like this moment where you see like almost like a flicker in the facial emotions, in the facial expression of like a flicker of emotion. But then you hear like again some more of this cursing and undercoming, and because you cast
Dissonant whisper.
a dissonant whisper, but it was comprehend language, right? At one point, Or is that a
I
concentration
can
spell?
still understand. I can
Yeah.
still understand him.
And it
I did
basically
it. Yeah.
you hear this cursing, you know, asking for the wrath of the gods to come down on you, and you hear, "You'll have to do better than that, Bard."
Well, he still takes 5 damage.
Ow!
for his effort.
Psychic damage.
Psychic damage.
Mhm.
So let us do that. Okay, there we go. We'll put that over here. Okay. All right. And anything else you want to do on this turn?
As a bonus action, I'm going to heal myself. Because I don't feel very good.
Feels
I don't feel good.
Ow!
I want to go to school, mommy.
So
5 more minutes.
that's a okay, that's 1d4 plus another 2 first level, because that's all I got really. So it's 3 plus 4 is 7, right?
Okay, so you get about half of that last attack
yeah.
back. What does that look like when he does that healing? Is it more?
He's just sort of like he just kind of goes calm for a second, and he goes restore, and then he's like,
I was waiting for a restore. Drinks the whiskey.
I think he's out. I think he chugged it all, so he doesn't have it right
the
now.
restorative power of Old Crow. Hey, it is the kitty's turn.
Kitty has a new toy.
No.
This
So,
chew toy. This chew toy is not going to last much longer.
I know, but I'm picturing it like Kitty's already chomped on. So when you see like a dog that has something and then it just goes and bites a little harder.
Tries to get that last squeak out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
I
toy
want Kitty to do that.
This toy is pretty shredded to begin with. This is like right before you're like, should I throw the toy out? Should I let him have it a little bit longer?
What sort of emotional investment does the dog have in the toy?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that first bite, because I don't think it's gonna take much more than that. Let's get that first delicious bite.
Ooh, that was the 4, so plus what, 6? Yeah, 10.
A 10 is not gonna be enough.
Yeah.
So he's able to kind of just like bear down. He's like holding the jaw open and like keeping it
I'm
from,
not
like,
letting
sinking
you
in.
go, essentially.
So
We'll
now
go for
let's get a
swipey bits.
claw in there.
21.
That 21 does hit.
And Bwomp, so 26.
Ugh.
Oh God.
A lot of crits this fight.
Sure.
All right,
Wham!
So this is
I want him to cut him in half. with that
definition of overkill. So tell me what you want this to look like.
So it's gonna be like, oh well, I bite down, and the bite isn't doing what he wants. So it's like, does the head shaky thing, and kind of bats at it like a cat, like paws at a toy or a moss or something, and then just gets really mad and just right in half.
Super bat.
Super bat, and there goes the bottom half of Mr. Duergar, somewhere on the other side of the room. Like,
So yeah, so there's this top half of the Duergar
in the craw.
still in the craw. There's all the viscera just kind of hanging out of the bottom.
I don't like it.
It's the cut on the outside is clean, but now there's nothing holding all that in, and there's just this
Exactly.
the blood just and it's like
Party streamers made of meat.
yeah.
Yes. It's like crazy string, but it's just going on the floor.
Just oh God. And the other half, there's just you hear like this sickening meat splat against
Slop.
the wall.
Somewhere in the darkness.
It slops against the wall.
Yes, somewhere in the darkness. Clang schlop.
makes it
Okay,
look
that
worse.
that would be the action part of the turn. Is there any movement that Sir Silverton would like to take?
Sir Silverton can see everything.
Everything.
So, yeah, because he already has the command to protect the rest of my teammates.
Mhm.
So if he sees Big Baddie
Mhm.
going after Hugon, we'll probably move over by Big Baddie.
Okay, so you're just gonna kind of wade into that.
He's going
the
to stalk
fracas.
him.
The fracas. All right. Hey, guess what? Hugon.
Okay.
Hugon.
I still have 3 problems that I have to address. 2 of them are in the shape of a 15-foot object, and then 1 is a standard object. So
Mhm.
let's keep killing this rogue. I don't like him.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Listen. Yeah, because we have 1 less rogue, right?
Yeah.
Than we did before. We have 1 less duergar, normal kind of variety than we did before. So now we have this guy here.
okay. And I do not have advantage on him, so I'm gonna do my 3 attacks.
You are going to do your 3 attacks.
So
Let's see.
first attack. Well, hang on. Let me just confirm.
Yeah, because you said before you want to do some of that Battle Master hijinks.
Okay, so first attack.
I am a benevolent DM who will remind
That is a
you.
natural 19 on the first attack.
Oh, that's a hit. That is a hit.
Is a miss on the second attack, and the last attack
Is that bad?
What?
It was that the roll was that bad?
It was a 4.
Yeah, that misses. Yeah.
And I have an 18 on the final bonus action attack.
That hits.
So on the first attack,
Mm-hmm.
I essentially picture Hugon, like, because he's surrounded by 3 creatures, kind of having to constantly turn and address them
Mm-hmm.
with every attack. So finally he gets back around and like just jabs them in the face with the butt end of his pole,
Mm-hmm.
and then with the like having knocked him back a little bit, he just tries to smack him with the axe head.
Mm-hmm.
But as part of this attack, he will do menacing strike, which if he hits with a melee attack, no, it's just as a weapon attack. It can actually be a ranged attack too. I can expend a superiority die, of which I have 4, to attempt to frighten my target. I add the superiority die to the attack's damage roll, and the target must make a wisdom saving throw of 8 plus my strength modifier, which is 3, plus
Probably your proficiency, right?
Yes. So it'd be a 14.
Okay.
So he takes first. I'm going to roll the damage for the blunt strike.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 4.
Okay.
And then he takes a D10 plus a D8
Jesus.
from the superiority die.
Jeez.
That was awful. I roll. Oh, I can re-roll because I have great weapon fighting. Haha. Eat shit.
You also have that inspiration die from Eno
I do,
as well.
but I can't roll it on damage.
No.
I could have expended it to roll to hit, but I didn't. So
You could have.
I have a 5, and then the D8 is a 6. So
Okay.
that is an 11, and he needs to make a DC 14 will save.
He makes it.
Okay.
So no other.
He does not on a successful save. Nothing happens.
No.
But he still takes 11 points of damage.
Yes, he does, and he's not looking good. Let's see, where is he now? Yeah, he's not looking good. He's looking pretty beat up.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty beat up there. Not good. Not good. Okay. Anything else you want to do this turn?
Continue to position myself so that I'm not stuck in between the 3 of them.
Okay.
Make sure that like none of them are behind me, or that kind of thing.
Okay. All right. So now, Laura Lissa, she is going to continue to try to harry the large, 15-foot tall, fleshy-looking the flesh duergar. And does that do it?
Is that one fairy fired?
It is. So
Cool.
that's right. That's right. She gets advantage on that. Yep, that definitely hits. Okay.
Good.
So she's going to come in again and try to do some more damage on this. There we go. That's the premium experience right there. Okay. So that time she does 14 points of damage.
Nice.
So let me do the math though. That's the hard part here. So she like whips out with this bladed whip, just covered in razor blades. These large, wicked, like 6-inch long looking razors.
It's some Soul Calibur shit.
Yeah, and just it wraps around the duergar's ankle, and she quick yanks it back, and it just shreds the Achilles tendon, and it just bites deep and just saws right down to the bone.
He's now sad.
I'm feeling that.
Yeah, that's gonna leave a mark, bro. You might want to see someone about that. It's gonna get infected. So now we have our the roguish gray guy who's now gonna try to come after you again, there, Mr. Hugon.
Cool.
He wants to
Let him try it.
He wants to try to do things to you.
I'm going to use a reaction to insult him and reduce his attack roll.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm going to say,
Well, oh, I thought you were kidding.
yeah,
That's extraordinary.
we sent out for a bumbling fool. I'm so glad you've arrived. And subtract 4 from your attack roll.
Oh my God!
Holy
okay,
shit,
so
dude.
11, 6, 17.
Is that no? That's a miss. That's so hilarious. I thought you were seriously joking.
I'm gonna.
What is
insult
that
him.
ability? Is that
Cunning words.
Cunning
Oh,
words.
wow.
Well, they were
That's
cunning
awesome.
enough, and you can see as he goes to make this swing, he kind of like glances over his shoulder a little bit at you, and you can see this momentary look on his face, like a flashback to his childhood,
like that was
and it wasn't a
hurtful,
pleasant
and
memory.
I don't like that.
And he misses. He swings. It's a swing and a miss. But now the big guy, the fairy fired guy, is going to come after you, Hugon, and try to hit you and fail. Because he feels a little bit bad for his friend.
Mhm.
You know, he's like, hey, dude, that wasn't nice.
Yeah.
Not cool. Not cool. But he missed as well.
Sorry. It's just so funny that you can mock the shit out of somebody and they're like, oh, and like I would understand like a -1 to hit, but -4 is like hurtful.
It's a D8. I rolled a 4.
Jeez. Oh, it's a roll?
Yeah, I rolled a D8.
You can essentially,
Oh.
with the proper combination of rolls, just cease all action.
Like you suck. Oh
Yeah.
man. -8 to your roll. What? Oh, I really do suck.
All right. So, now the big armored gentleman, because he is a gentleman. He's been nice so far. He hasn't said any mean things.
He hit the shit out of a bard.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of back to you now, and he wants to make right what his minions were unable to do at this
Okay,
point.
cool.
Well, before you say cool, does a 25 hit?
It does.
Okay.
This is the mech attacking?
This is the mech attacking.
He still has darkness around him. Can he see?
Oh, that's true. Hang on.
Oh yeah, it doesn't
You
matter.
guys?
It's just
Oh my God. Yeah, he misses. That first one, he thought about hitting, but then thought better of it. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, so
tactical support bard.
basically this one just like comes super high over. You barely have to duck to get out from underneath that. So Thonic.
Thunic is going to the newest plugged in person,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna come on, knock on their door.
Hey,
Come
do you
on,
have
knock
some
on my
moment?
door.
I would like to talk about the 4. I have some tracks.
Have you heard the good word? But yeah, he's gonna free this last person.
It's Ishkabibble.
That is a 20,
Okay,
do a
that
bonk.
would hit. You're
Shillelagh.
able to
not
yank
a dirty 20.
dirty 20. So yeah, you're able to knock the. Are you trying to get like the plug out, or are you trying just to take the?
I'm
Okay,
trying
yeah.
to both basically disable this thing so they can be not fodder for this machine.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to knock the cord. You're able to knock the plug out again. Excuse me. And as we
But
discussed,
this is a different machine though. This
different
time, right?
machine. Yeah, you moved over. Yeah.
So successfully 3 machines so far, or three batteries.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
But you still have 3 of them that are also like. You've got 1 that you've damaged beyond repair.
Okay.
You've got 3 that have been plugged in and essentially switched on with this, or 2, excuse me, that have the glowing energy flowing to the mech, and then you've got now 3 that one's disabled, 2 that you've kind of like unplugged.
And did I cause anyone to become in my range, within my sphere of influence?
You're still kind of going around the outside of the room, so you haven't been able to get into the fracas of everything, but you're able to attack a few more Modrons with this
Okay, they have to do a willpower save.
willpower save, and that's a 15 they have to hit.
I don't remember. Spirit Guardians, where are you? There you are. No, it's a 15-foot radius. Just a wisdom saving throw.
And what is
Versus, what is this? Doesn't even say that.
Should be 8 plus your wisdom modifier plus
Plus
your proficiency.
yeah.
Hold on.
Right now it's probably around a 14 for you.
15 probably.
15?
If I had to guess.
Wisdom 15. Yeah.
15, okay. They make their saving throw.
Okay.
So they only take half damage. If I recall.
Darn. Why am I looking at my cards? I have this here in front of me. No, it's or. On a failed save, they take the damage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then go ahead and let them take some damage. Roll that damage.
No, they fail or
No, they
you said
they made the save, so it's nothing.
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So on a failed save, they take damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you'd like to do this turn?
Why don't I cast Sacred Flame?
Why not?
It's always you gotta stand by the original.
Why not a sacred flame?
Why not a Sacred Flame? 60-foot range. I can pretty much hit anything. Is that rogue still standing?
He's about not to
yeah,
be, but I would be very grateful if you.
Yeah, I'm gonna Sacred Flame that rogue.
Good.
You're gonna sacred flame the rogue. Okay.
Pissing me off.
That is 7 plus my spell attack, so 14.
En fuego.
En fuego. Okay, so
En
he
fuego.
takes a D8's worth of 2 D8's worth of damage. Really?
Oh, God.
I thought it was D8.
2d8?
No, it's a single. Gains no benefit. Cover spells damage. When you reach 5th, oh crap!
5th level.
5th level, it's 2d8.
Mhm.
I forgot about that. Okay, so 2d8. Oh, well, that's garbage. 3.
3. That's
Sorry.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it hits. Does some damage. He's not liking it. Doesn't like it at all. Not a fan. Quohand is going to take his big chop at trying to get after Mech Duergar. And he's going to connect. Finally, Quohand. You useless. Anyway, and he is going to do. Oh, he's actually going to do some damage this time. How about that? So he does 14 points of damage. He's able to get in there and take a big old swing. You can see the
Big
side
old
of it
swing.
gets a little dented right there.
It's good.
But then the Modrons, this turn, the ones that have not been completely damaged, plug in, are able to get to another one of the batteries, and they're able to turn it and plug it in, and like kind of like
I didn't want to kill the Modrons, but these little assholes are causing problems, and it's high time that they stop.
yes. And as they do that, you hear like that another turbine starts spinning up, and almost uh, almost like almost as a reaction, this spurt of energy comes bursting out of the back of the mech,
Oh.
and you feel this intense heat,
Oh.
and it just takes up and starts flying straight up, and it flies up into the darkness of the up into the library, to the point where you can't hear it anymore. And as it does so, the cables behind it detach that were plugged in. So it's kind of like it drove away from the gas station.
Yeah.
But rather than, it didn't take the pumps with it.
Oh.
So it flies up into the darkness. So with that in mind, I'm a kind of benevolent dungeon master, and I think we need a break. I'm getting a message here. I don't know where from, but a message is telling me that there's people that need to use the bathroom. So
Potty, 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 potty.
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna take the absolute briefest of breaks. It'll be probably about 10 minutes or so. For the folks that are listening on the podcast, it'll be less than that. It'll be the length of time it takes to listen to a very quick message from our sponsor, and we will be right back. For the folks who are watching us live, you'll just get to see our interstitial screens. We encourage you to use your facility as well, and we'll come right back with more adventures from Team X. So stay tuned. Hey, everybody. We're back.
You thought you got rid of us, but you didn't.
You can't kill what
You
won't
thought
die.
wrong.
You can't kill what won't
goofed.
die.
You goofed.
You screwed up. You didn't finish the job.
Dun-dun.
That's where we are. Actually, no, where we are as a game, as a unit here, is we're in this library that the monks of the Monastery of Shadow had sent the team to in order to retrieve the Tome of Abarak. And during the course of all this, shenanigans, new character, Deus Ex Machina, Steel Kitty, duergar in a mech suit, and then the mech suit flew away.
Yes, he did.
So I think it's a pretty good summary
Like
of the
a
first.
cowardly butthole.
But it does mean that the rest of his crew is still about. And we happen to find ourselves at the top of the order. And that's completely coincidental and had nothing to do with when we went to break.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, never.
So, Dren. The last time we spoke with you, you and Steel Kitty had practiced.
Make a good tag.
You guys had learned. You guys were demonstrating math by dividing a duergar in two.
Exactly. Worked out
It's
pretty good.
fractions.
It's fractions. I'm going to fracture more skulls.
I'm gonna fraction some
We're
more
practicing
duergar.
we're practicing short division.
That
Oh, God.
was a
One
good one.
duergar is now two
But,
duergar.
Short division.
This is two puns in a single game. This is two puns. The
I
only
know.
two
Who
puns
are you? And what
over
have you done
two
with my
seasons.
friend?
What have you done?
Listen,
What has
I think-
Colorado done to you?
honestly, I'm blaming Kalindron. His pun nonsense has apparently infected me deep.
Oh, he has his own he has his own wing of word jail just for
I know
him.
he has his own supermax wing of.
It's named
word
after
jail.
him.
Yes.
But Dren, my gem weaver.
Well, let's see. We were stalking one of the big guys. Are there one big guy or two big guys?
So left in this equation right now, we have
Yeah. Who's left?
we have the rogue, who's been poking around and sniffing around Hugon, and we have the 15-foot tall duergar around. The mech seems to have disappeared, flown away, flown the coop.
Okay. I think I want to go get the one that's going after Hugon then.
So you're gonna go after. And might I say, we did miss out on a unique opportunity because we had the darkness spell that Eno had cast on the duergar that you could still see, and you did not cast magic missile. So you did not
This
have
is
the
true.
opportunity to cast magic missile at the darkness.
True.
And my dogs are very upset with you. You can hear that.
Puppies. I know. It's because I'm playing with a kitty and not dogs.
I can do it once every long rest, so you'll have another opportunity.
That's true.
Oh, we're gonna find that fucker and we're gonna kill him. Like, let it not be forgotten. He didn't just vanish. We're hunting him down.
And then we're going to fulfill a meme all over him.
I'm gonna meme all over this guy.
Meme
I wanna
fulfillment.
meme it so hard.
No, don't say that.
But anyway,
Um,
so for our resident tinker gnome, what is your plan here?
well, what's more menacing to Hugon right now, the big guy or the one that's like right in front of him? Does it look like Hugon has the guy that's in front of him kind of covered?
Hugon has not been hit in combat except for when the rogue surprised him.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was really the only.
And thanks in large part to disadvantage from Eno and also cutting words from Eno.
Yes. So having some
Okay.
support there. As far as like if you're going to look at the overall health of the two, the roguish type which is kind of tough to say because he's not really a rogue. He's wearing armor and everything, but the one that behaved in a roguish manner, we shall say. He's definitely looking a little less healthy. Like, he's probably more like ER worthy, whereas the other one is probably just more like an urgent care kind of guy.
Okay, so we'll go for urgent care kind of guy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look and be like, okay, well, Hugon's got that guy covered, so we're gonna go for the big guys, the urgent care, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kill the shit out of whoever you would like, but
Dealer's choice. I mean,
yeah. So let's see. We'll just see if I can make my ranged spell attack first. What do I get to add? Okay. Ooh, 21 hit him?
yeah, 21's gonna hit.
Okay.
That'll do.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. I want to yeah. I'm going to firebolt, aka laser bolt, the shit out of him. And with my knowledge of how they're kind of constructed in there, I'm trying to aim for some vital bits and see if I can.
Some bits.
Well, they are a larger target
some,
now.
I want some tasty vital bits in there.
You making a pot pie?
I wish. So that's gonna be a glorious 18 damage to his vital bits.
Jesus.
And if there's any bit of him that's flammable, he's flammable. Oh no, it is if it's being worn. Never mind. He doesn't have to get that on fire. But he has some tasty 18 laser damage to his tender side.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's he's now an ER candidate. He is no longer an urgent care situation here. So this is where you're sitting on top of a steel kitty going pew pew.
Yeah, I just cracked the one guy, and so I'm gonna take my lantern and just kind of aim it out and go pew.
I have to go buy a van just so I can paint that on the side of it now.
No, don't do that.
Tinker down wielding with the staff on, writing on the steel kitty. It's glorious, and there needs to be a rainbow, somewhere.
No, stop.
Ground
stop.
effects
all
underneath.
of this, I rebuke it.
Ground effects underneath.
I rebuke this.
Inside of the van is all tricked out.
Whatever abomination, like whoever's responsibility of this is.
This is right out of this van would be right out of like some MTV Sex in the '90s show, man.
Exactly.
So yeah, this thing goes out, and you find some of the tenderest bits, some of the tenderest morsels, and just
now they're nice and cooked.
Oh, they're cooked. They're steaming. They're not quite well done. They're still juicy and tender.
They're ready for kitty consumption.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely safe. There's no foodborne illness.
Killed all bacteria.
Yeah, all the bacteria is out of there.
The aggressive transfer of thermal energy to a room temperature object.
This is you basically microwaved them. I think would be a good adequate. Yes.
You just gave me such a good idea.
No. Quickly before she continues, who's next? Who's next?
Oh dear.
Is it a quest so I can get a radiation crystal out?
No, you shut up.
Oh god. A magnetotron.
This is what your words have wrought. This is what you have wrought.
We're gonna get a magnetotron going here. Okay.
Oh,
okay. So, Dren, that is your turn. Unless you have any movement or bonus actions you would like to take.
No, I imagine I'm still within like attacking distance of the two since it's a relatively small room. So I think I'm just gonna kind of stay in between the two.
Mm-hmm.
In case that I can help. So I'm gonna stay right where I am.
Okay. So Eno, buddy, how you feeling?
I'm doing okay. Eno turns to the roguish adjacent person and says, "Wow, you really foozled that last one. You really didn't have to go so far to prove how big of a bumbling fool you were. I think they sent the perfect person for the job." And he's vicious mockery. Wisdom 15.
Piling on the hate.
Wisdom 15 DC.
This duergar is remembering middle school now.
Yeah. Oh God, middle school was awful.
That thing I did when I was 11, and
And
oh,
it sucked. They always say high school was bad. No,
No.
middle school, Lord of the Flies, awful. All right, so he's got to do 15. Okay, so he's got that.
Yeah,
and
wisdom DC 15.
No, he fails.
Okay. He has disadvantage on his next attack roll before the end of his next turn,
Okay.
and he takes 3 plus. The fuck is that? 4. So 7 damage. 7
my
psychic damage.
God.
I shouldn't use this die. I can't read it. It's an awesome die.
He-
I can't read it.
Oh man. Okay, so you say like this vicious mockery to him. Like definitely this is like 7th grade level, you know, just like take this person down and he just like looks at you
And it falls over dead.
and he just jams the knife into his own throat
Wow.
Oh.
and just like right into the jugular.
See, this is
You
what
know, it's kinda
psychic
like-
damage. Oh, like oh.
And he just like looks and he just does one of those and just opens up his own vein. Blood pours out
Oh.
and he collapses dead.
I don't like it.
Like the white eyes just go like what little life there was in them is gone.
This is what a waste of life.
Listen, I might kill people, but you hurt their souls. Which of us is the real monster? No, I'm kidding.
Well,
And he says that one's a good candidate.
Yeah.
He points at the big huge thing.
yeah, that is true. But it is Sir Silverton's. Unless you have any other actions that you want to commit
No, I'm good.
at this point, it is Sir Silverton's.
Would you like to
turn.
commit more crimes?
And all
Why,
that's
yes.
all that's left is the 15-foot tall.
oh yeah.
duergar.
Even if there was something else, that we're going for the tasty cooked bits.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty hungry. Kitty gonna go for chompy bite swipe.
So yeah, so you get 3 attacks.
Okay.
Plus 6
Plus
to those
6?
attacks. Yep.
Okay. So 23,
Hit.
18,
Hit.
and a 9.
Does not hit.
Yeah.
So that first one you get 1d6 plus 4. The second was a 1d8 plus 4.
Okay. So the first one d6 plus 4 is to 7,
Mm-hmm.
and then d8 plus 4 is an 8.
So we have a 7 and an 8.
Yep.
Okay. Oof. So Kitty gets in there and tears out,
Kitty does not care about the metal. Just like bite and swipe. To
getting
get
in
to
there,
the-
trying to get to that
the
delicious
tasty
loin.
gooey center.
Trying to get to the loin, to the baby back rib area. You know,
Exactly.
all the choice cuts. You know, the
Okay.
T-bone, all of these things. And Kitty gets in there, and does, and takes a look around, carves out a couple of the choice cuts. You know,
Mhm.
leaves some there because he knows it's Hugon's turn next, and wants to make sure that Hugon gets a chance to maybe not getting the best cuts. But there's a lot you could do with.
Second choice.
Listen, there's a lot you could do with the other stuff if you prepare it properly. So, Hugon, what would you like to do to
All right.
help
So I have
spread joy?
just to enumerate the number of problems that we have. We have a 15-foot tall duergar and
That's
some pissant modrons,
hmm
essentially.
Who are
Okay.
essentially scattering at this point. They're like trying to get away. They're
Do not want. Do not want.
All right. Well, let's just annihilate this this big boy here.
hmm
I am going to use my inspiration on this first attack roll.
Oh, okay.
So, let's see. That is an 18 total.
That hits.
Good. That actually it rolled a 1, and that's what made it.
Oh wow.
Shit.
So wait, so with a 1, you're able to get
No,
it
no,
up to
no,
eight-
no, no. The D8 rolled a 1, but that's what pushed me over.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
And I have a natural 19 with the second attack,
That definitely hits.
and with the bonus action attack. Actually, I'm gonna do another maneuver.
A maneuver.
Of a maneuver. A maneuver. Okay. For this maneuver, I am doing commanding strike. When I take the attack action on my turn, I can forego an attack and use a bonus action to direct one of my companions to strike.
Mm-hmm.
When you do so, choose a friendly creature who can see or hear you and expend one superiority die. The creature can immediately use its reaction to make one weapon attack, adding superiority die to the damage roll.
Okay.
So I will commanding strike. So I will forego my bonus action blunt strike,
Mm-hmm.
and I will use that bonus action to command Laura Lissa to take a hit on this 15-foot tall guy.
Oh, okay.
So she may roll an extra D8 on her damage if she hits.
If she hits, okay.
So let me
and
roll.
There's advantage on this because he's still glowy.
Yes, and so I am going to roll my 2d10s here. I have, let's see, 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 6 is 16. 16 total damage to the big boy.
Okay. I mean, that's more than enough.
Oh, well.
So we can
I mean,
we could forgo all the other stuff and not have you you burn it because
I didn't realize that I was going to annihilate him.
Annihilation is definitely the word I would use here. He only had 3 hit points left.
Oh well.
So tell me. So this is the coup de grace, basically. What's your? Tell me what happens here. So 15-foot tall, glowing.
Hugon flips the halberd around and uses the hook into the collarbone and brings him down. And then, how would he? Fuck it, he headbutts him to death. Just brings him into his own face.
So you hook him, you bring it, and you stand there and you bring him down onto like the crown here, right there, and it just drives that. It does that. You know what you always heard would happen. It just the nose bone right up into the
brain pan,
into the lobes, right into the brain pan, and it just collapses. But because you did it, because you were in control of that, you're able to hook and like pull him off to the side so he doesn't collapse on you. And yeah, it is very dead. It is very, very dead.
Good.
So that basically takes us out of initiative.
And Hugon is essentially covered in blood now.
Yeah.
Just covered in it.
There's blood. There's blood to be had, which is basically, this
is normal.
What you want it any other way.
I mean, this is if he wasn't like anointed, he'd be like, well, I didn't do enough.
This was a bad job.
I did not contribute.
I need to do better. More is expected of me. So yeah, that's kind of you're out of initiative now. So what is it you guys want to do with the scene that lay before you right now? You've got death everywhere.
Free the people.
Yeah.
Try and hunt down that son of a bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Modrons have
gone?
I'm sorry, say again?
Are the Modrons all gone?
Yeah, they've essentially all scattered at this point. They weren't here for fighting. They were they're
turning living people into batteries.
Yes. And basically they've scattered. They've little corners. They found little their own little escape because they're not big. They're able to.
They skittered off.
They skittered off into the
assholes.
Other areas. Yeah. So they wanted to get the hell out of Dodge. So yeah. So you've got 3 of these batteries that have been 2 of them. You've knocked the cages off. One, you've destroyed the cord on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go. No one's gonna be able to use this again. Just trash. But yeah, they're all they're everyone all the there's like 2 monks and 4 villagers, and they're still in these cages. There doesn't appear to be anything like truly happening to them because they're not plugged in. The cables aren't plugged into anything anymore.
Well, they still need to be freed.
Yes. So you're able to work out like the mechanism of how like the pins and everything fit in there, which definitely leaves you with like kind of like for anyone else who's investigating this, definitely gives you a sense of awe in that with like a single swipe, Thunuk was able to like basically bend cotter like these thick cotter pins out of one of them, and I mean just you definitely feel like a little maybe a little wary that he is a gentle fellow. It's in the name.
Yeah.
It's on brand, but
but when he decides to bonk,
when he wants to lay waste to something,
Serious El Kabong action happens.
yeah.
Oh, come on. Bang.
So yeah,
Can I just do like a quick investigation of like the battery bits to see what it was powering?
you absolutely may.
Yay!
Eno's looking at that too. Actually, if I can.
You know what? This is Dungeons and Dragons. You can do what
Hugon would like to see if there's any sort of like orders or like written notes or anything like that, like what exactly is going on.
Okay. So
If Laura Alyssa could help him with that, that would be fantastic.
absolutely. So so you guys are going to start searching bodies and whatnot. We're going to come back to Drenmai and Eno in just a second. Thunuk, is there anything that you would like to be doing?
Thunuk is going to start healing people. Eno took a couple of nasty whacks there, and as I recall, Kohan still is not 100%, and all these people have had some amount of life drained from them.
Yeah, so where would you like to start?
I would like to start by using mass. So does it look like all the civilians are roughed up?
They're so they're not looking necessarily beat up like physically.
But it looks like they've been sucked, not quite dry.
There's
That's like a great arcane mosquito.
yeah, I mean that's essentially what it looks like. They all look, I mean they're alive, but you're not sure that like curative magic would only go so far with them.
Mm-hmm.
This is more your initial triage of the situation. One doesn't need a roll because you can take a quick look. Is that this is more like they need some time.
Yeah, healing could help, but they need a Gatorade and a nap.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Designated healing facility.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Yeah. The ibuprofen will only get you so far.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you just need to rest and have food and things like that. And you could probably do a greater investigation if you wanted to, now or later, to determine what was happening with them.
I think Thunuk would like to know what's going on with them, but just to be expedient, he's going to cast Mass Healing Word on the ones that actually did get a little bit of their visible life sucked out of them.
Yeah.
And that goes to 6 individuals. So what was it, like 3 or 4 of them actually got drained?
3 of them started having a little bit of the drainage action. Quohand he's looking okay. Laura Lissa's looking a little green around the gills.
Okay.
And Hugon took 7, so
Yeah, Hugon had a close shave.
Hugon got poked.
Yeah.
Actually, if Eno is still down, heal Eno instead.
I mean, I healed myself. I'm only down 8 hit points. I'm 30
Okay.
38. So
Yeah.
Okay.
So either at your discretion.
Laura Lissa and Kohan and the civilians
Okay.
are going to cast Mass Healing Word on them.
Alrighty.
And they will get a D4 plus my spell modifier.
Mm-hmm.
10.
10.
They will get 10 hit points.
Okay.
Each.
Nice.
So we've seen Thunuk do like the healing before, where it's either like a boop on the nose or a pat on the back. What would a Mass Healing Word look like from?
He's going to utter some words that he was taught by the 4.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as anyone else is concerned, it sounds like the thawing of winter. Like everything just thawed like that.
Mm.
Even with
And-
copperhead language? Does it sound like that? Or
I'm not even sure if they're actually words.
Okay.
It's just that as far as like the entities that are the four that represent the different seasons, it is sort of a language of nature and of. So you would basically be healing if you were using comprehend language at the time. You might hear like just like 1,000 different words that mean rejuvenate, awaken, heal, that sort of stuff. Like all of them just at once.
Or
So
like maybe if
sounds
you
of
speak
intent.
primordial, the first word
Yeah, like
ever spoken in such a way.
Ooh.
yeah.
Ooh. I like that.
Then it actually speaks primordial too. So maybe yeah.
Oh,
I'm
maybe,
liking that.
maybe there we go. Look at this workshopping. I like this. Okay, and we are going to come back to Hugon and Lord Lissa doing looting bodies. Pokemon
Well, come on
corpses.
now.
No, we're going to. No, that's okay. This is a time-honored tradition in Dungeons and Dragons. You kill it, and then you find out what's on it.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
But let's go. So Drenmai and Eno, what are your investigations look like here? You guys are investigating the batteries.
Yeah, I rolled a 22 on my investigation.
Okay.
17.
I want to use like all of my technical knowledge and look at the stuff, and I'm trying to find what exactly they were doing.
Okay. And what is it that you are looking for?
I'm trying to figure out how to, if I see this again,
Mm-hmm.
like what its weaknesses are so that it can be disabled quicker, or like what is this, do I recognize this as duergar technology? Is it deep gnome? I mean, that type of thing. I'm trying to analyze exactly.
Okay. So we'll answer that first, and then we'll come back and we'll answer Drenmai's question, and then finally to the time-honored tradition of looting bodies.
Right.
Part is just me keeping my mental notes to make sure we get all
you're
of the
fine.
things done. So as far as the construction, it looks to you like it probably is a modification of duergar construction. Specifically, it looks similar to the construction of the constructs that you had seen earlier, the one that you guys fought earlier with the hammer and the claw. So you're pretty sure this is a it looks similar to that, but extrapolated to a larger concept, to a more what's the word I'm thinking of right now? Ambitious concept. As far as the weakness, you can tell this is obviously what powered the construct, but as far as it's itself, it looks like, yeah, you're pretty sure that you can see where the power supply connects to the actual pod itself, and that you could probably figure out how to do that as more like a bonus action as opposed to a full action of knocking this thing out and quickly and making it more of a quick thing where you don't even need like a strength check, where you could almost run by and like unplug it as you go.
Hit the switch, click.
Yeah. Yeah, you think that you have some other ways that you could potentially, that if you saw this again, you could figure out how to manipulate it in a way to switch it off in a more effective manner than hitting it with a magically charged stick. Not that that wasn't effective.
It worked.
It
but
worked.
We're not
It
going to
worked
take that
well.
away from you.
Yeah.
Cool.
We don't want to take away any of the successes that happened here, but it's important that we learn and grow on. Learn from them.
And there's effective, and then there's efficient. And
Yes.
And then there's just fun hitting things with a stick.
And where those things meet is this perfect point of
Yes.
maximal.
One is how to
efficacy.
do things well. One is how to do
Max-
things quickly, and we're looking for the appropriate, that
center point.
yeah, that center point right there where it says we can do both. So Drenmai, you're doing your investigations here. This is powered by the same magic that the other constructs were powered by,
Ooh,
but
recognition.
at a higher, much higher scale. The
Okay.
power transfer here was the conversion rate was much more, well, not quite as efficient as what you saw. So as best you can figure, now that you started to put all this together, the previous two constructs weren't so much controlled by the duergar that were inside, as much as they were powered by the duergar inside.
Right.
Okay.
And this looks like this is what they were trying to do at a much larger scale, with people. So they were basically using this psionic energy to as batteries, and they were figuring out a way to do it at a much higher conversion rate. And
Okay.
and when you look at the layout here, this was a means of powering obviously something much larger, much stronger, and you know that this was not at full strength.
Okay.
That based on what you saw with them switching it on, that like the cords running was basically latent energy. It wasn't fully like draining. It was kind of like, you know how like it's called vampire energy when you have like a toaster plugged in, it's still seeping some energy. That's kind of what was happening with it just plugged in. The ones that were actually switched on were rapidly draining the life force out of the people that were inside these cages. But you think that if it had been allowed to charge up more, the destruction it could have wrought would have been exponentially larger. But for right now, a shorter period of time, it would have burned out much quicker.
Okay.
But based on what you're seeing so far, this is a prototype. Based on the construction, you've seen where you've prototyped something out before, and you're like still in like alpha build mode. This is like alpha version, so you're still version 0, but it's like you're thinking probably version 0.5, 0.4.
Okay.
So it's still in the earlier iterations of what they're trying to do here, whatever this is.
I want to also just keep like a mental note if I see like where any cables would be going, like where it's filtering to, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, the batteries were basically,
Or is it all in here?
it was all internal where it was focused.
Okay.
Each one of these acted as a battery, and as they turned on, it was draining the energy and putting it into whatever component inside the actual armor itself.
Okay.
So
Okay.
whatever.
And Eno would be pointing out also like what he's seeing too, like where the power supply is and stuff like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Hugon.
Yeah, like nerd talk going on over here.
Yeah,
They're like,
oh
"Let's
yeah,
make
it's
bodies."
it's totally going into this. It's going to this really weird area where they're talking like in abbreviations, and there's like the just acronyms are being used.
Hugo,
Shorthand.
Lorlissa, everyone's just hears wah wah wah.
Yeah,
wah.
text shorthand being passed
Blah,
back
blah,
and
blah,
forth.
blah.
Like the EVG here is way too short. I don't know why they don't
Why
use
the
it
hell is this frequency
larger.
inverted?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what's going on here, where you're having like this really deep conversation about like the inner workings.
Who the hell thought that the polarity? No, yeah,
Yeah.
Who reversed the polarity on this tachyon emitter right here?
yeah. Swear to God, you say don't.
Don't you do it.
We're not doing this.
It's the solution to every episode of Star Trek. So Hugon, now you and
Yes.
Loralissa are now kind of picking through, and I imagine Quohand is kind of doing it the same way. Like but he's looking at it more from like just, are their weapons worth recovering? Are there,
Of course.
things like that. So you.
Oh wait, stop. How many did Cohen kill? 0? Goose egg?
0.
Oh. Poor Cohen.
Whereas you're sitting
2.
sitting pretty on
2 plus whatever we killed earlier.
Listen, if that's by certain measures, Hugon's having a really good day.
He's doing good. His ratio is quite high.
His blood pressure's low. Is the mask still on?
Absolutely. The mask
Okay.
doesn't come off until the mission is over.
Oh, ooh, okay.
Through his issues that a certain short person may have,
This has been a healthy venting session.
By
He's
the way,
feeling better.
you still had temporary hit points, Hugon, right? So maybe you didn't lose as
That's
many hit points.
right.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I had
Kohan
forgotten
and
about that.
Hugon both had temporary hit
I
points.
had
Plus,
forgotten.
yeah, and plus you still have advantage to con checks, and that's like an hour that lasts.
Okay.
So
So yeah,
how many temporary hit points
hit
did you
points
have?
did I have? How many did
I
you?
don't think
Was
I
it-
wrote that.
was it
down.
more than
I thought it was
7?
like 10 or something. I thought it was a healthy number.
It was
I
a
think
healthy
it-
number.
It was like
I think-
15.
Well,
No.
it's 2d6,
Okay,
so it can't be more than 12. It
Yeah, I
might have
thought it
been
was
10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it might have been
It was a
10.
good number there. So yeah, so actually, if we're gonna retcon this a little bit,
took no damage.
yeah, there was
Yeah.
like that knife went in, and it went in and came out, and it healed immediately, and it was just like
It was like ow.
you had a Luke Skywalker moment of yeah, just brush
Yeah, and
that.
I
The
forgot
shoulders off.
what I did, but I'm still currently a tank. Because I have 79 out of 40 health.
Oh, that was from
I sapped the energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's from all the necrotic energy that you zapped off of everyone when you invented
That's
the
right.
with
Yeah,
the wild
that's right.
magic.
Oh yeah.
I'm still currently a tank.
And that-
You can
World's
take all the
smallest
damage.
tank.
It's like a wild gnome fighter.
Exactly.
She just finds a battlefield and just cock punches everyone, and she finds.
Ah!
Go on,
Why do you
hit me.
think
It's
I've
okay.
been doing melee damage and stuff? I'm like, I'll get all up in this 15-foot thing. Yeah.
Listen, while you have flaunt it while you got it, right?
Exactly.
All
Um,
right, so what are we dealing with?
Anyway, so you're around. So you're
Yeah.
searching your bodies here. Let's do it. Let's do an investigation check just so
Okay.
we can see a little bit more deeply into how.
Oh, 10.
A 10, and you don't get any bonus on that.
Nope.
Well, that's what Laura Alyssa rolled as well. But that'll be fine. So as you're going around, you're able to find some coins, some gems in some of the pockets as you're like dumping out like the satchels that they might have been carrying. You're able to. Well, actually, I'll let you have a different roll on this. What would see? This would be if you're trying to determine the quality of a weapon. Would that be history?
History would probably be who made it, how old is it, do I know the maker?
Yeah,
Like,
but
is
I
there-
feel like you. Which is stronger for you, wisdom or intelligence? Or is it a neither situation?
It's a wisdom. Wisdom would be the stronger of the
So
two.
do that, but roll it with your proficiency bonus
Okay,
as
so
well, because Hugon is definitely proficient in weapons.
yeah,
And,
it's a 16.
so the weapons that you find, the daggers that the roguish guys were using, you very finely made. Very finely made. You feel like in your hands, this would do basically +4 damage. So you do a 1d6 +4
Oh,
with this. But obviously very close range combat.
mm-hmm. Well, definitely gonna hang on to one.
Yeah. You
I
feel
needed a new shaving knife anyway.
you feel like this is not something you would actually need to sharpen.
Mhm.
If placed into a larger creature's hands, you think it might be closer to a 2d6.
Oh,
Well, whatever that
when you say larger, you mean as if they had been like Thulix sized?
about Phoenix sized, perhaps a
Okay.
bit larger.
Damn.
So
Well, putting that in the belt.
you find a few gems, a few gemstones floating around, again in the bags. Nothing huge, like little things. In all, just from the coinage alone, you and some of this might have belonged to some of the villagers at one point, but it's all generally kind of like a mixture of mostly Neverwinter coins. Coinage and that kind of regions. There's some,
Okay.
obviously there's gonna be some mixes in there from Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate,
Right,
just because. But you're closest to Neverwinter, so that's the currency you're most likely to see.
Okay.
In all, you find probably in combination amongst all of the dead duergar here, probably about 75, the equivalent in coinage of about 75 gold.
Okay.
Um,
And most of it is probably their property in terms of the villagers.
it's tough to say, but yeah, there's probably some in there. The gems, probably not.
Gems probably not.
Yeah, you would need to get them appraised or let Drenmai take a look at them
No.
and never see them again.
Tiny things.
No, you don't know that they're there. You're busy being a nerd.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you do come across, two pieces of folded parchment.
Ooh, here we go. Notes.
One of which is two-sided, and
Okay.
it has basically a map of the library complex.
Oh, nice.
And you can see where there's marked on there where there's an entry point marked from where they basically tunneled in, and how they've been accessing this. And the other piece it's actually like a bundle of parchment. It's kind of rolled up, and as you look at it, it's actually it looks like technical schematics of some kind.
So a spec sheet.
A spec sheet that looks similar to the mech that you just fought.
All right, I'm gonna write down spec sheet of nerd shit, and that Dren can have.
Yay!
Good, because you want her to build one of these.
I don't know about it yet.
Hey, listen, if this is gonna be a way to get Hugon power armor, I'm not gonna be mad.
Oh no, what have I done?
You started it.
Oh god.
Whose fault is this?
Mine.
The Iron Hugon.
Ryan's.
It's my fault.
Iron Hugon? No. Far too altruistic.
Space Marine Hugon?
Nah, far too zealous.
What have I done?
Moving forward, when we can spring this on you in 3 or 4 months.
Somehow, I'm saying right now, while I bear full responsibility for having said these words and pass this along to you without thinking ahead of my actions, I'll own that. In part, I feel part of this blame is going to have to squarely be placed on Kate Welch's doorstep, because she is responsible for part of this.
What?
She was one of the ones that wrote Ravnica. And
right.
Oh,
And I'm pretty sure. Hang on. I'm pretty sure. Let's take a look here. That.
do you want the translucent metal armor? Oh god.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This is
This is
you know
where
whose fault
Hugon
this
and I
is?
sync up
Mike
that we
Nearles,
want
this
the
is your fault.
metal
Jeremy
bullshit.
Crawford, this is your fault. Kim Moan, this is your fault. Chris Perkins, this is of course your fault. And Kate Welch, I love you dearly. I really do, grandmother. But grandmother, this is your fault. So, anyway, it's okay. It's okay because we'll have fun with it.
Yes,
Anywho,
we will.
But the other, okay, so you have that. But that map, when you look at it, you're basically, so the floor that you're able to suss out that you're on is this.
Oh, nice.
And you're able to see that there does look to be, so you're in the left-hand room here. And actually, here's what I'm going to do for my team here. And for the other folks who are watching, listening, or whatever, I will post the plans of this on EatDrinkRoll.com.
Good.
Let me do this as well. I'm gonna put this up in our Discord for the moment. Actually, I'm gonna hold off on the second one because it has additional notes on there that you guys don't need to have access to just yet. Or no, wait, I can do this. Hang on. Let me do this for you guys because again, I am a benevolent and magnanimous. I was gonna say drug dealer, but a dungeon master, but it's kind of the same thing.
Essentially identical.
It is essentially the same thing, right? This is our weekly fix.
Yep.
So I'm going to put that in there and that in there. So now in Discord, you guys will be able to see the maps.
Delicious.
And like I said, I'll post this on EatDrinkRoll for anyone who would like to use this as a Dungeon Master resource in the future. Anywho, so you guys are in like the upper left-hand circle deal.
Okay.
uppermost here. You can see the duergar entrance.
So
there.
the northernmost point, but on the left.
Exactly. That's
Got it.
basically
11
where
o'clock.
this.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Good use of the clock there. But yeah, as you can see, it looks like there's another entrance up, or some kind of entrance up at the top there. But this is basically the, as marked on, this is basically the forbidden section, the forbidden tomes of area of the library.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have an
Good.
idea of where you are now. And
Very
then there's
good.
that second floor that I blocked out some other things. As best you could tell from the map, this was basically that was like the visitors section. The part you're in, generally speaking, most outsiders would not have access to this. They don't want people just coming in and touching the books because the greasy fingerprints.
I licked my hand and put it on that one.
Yeah. But books go missing, don't get returned, they don't get filed back the proper way. And in a library of this size, it would take you years to find a book if ever you found it again. So it looks like that second floor, that's basically where people would go to do their studying, where they could stay in very rudimentary rooms to do their research. Generally speaking, you're not going to check the books out of here. They're not going to leave the area. So
Gotcha.
that's kind of that is where you find yourself now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And to be clear, when the mecha dwarf rocketed up, did he like pound through the ceiling or just ascend outside of our
It's
ability to
honestly, I mean, you can try to do some checks if you'd like to see, but it is so high up that you literally cannot see the top of this. It just disappears into darkness. But
are there stairs?
just passively, well, yeah. It's kind of got like those same, and this is from the DM being lazy and not superimposing those stairs onto the other two circles here. But you would
But
able
it's sort
to,
of circular staircase.
yeah,
along
exactly
The
the same deal.
oh, we're gonna have to walk.
If you want to see how high this thing goes, but as best you can tell, these silos go very, very high. Passively, you don't hear anything. You don't hear. The thing made a loud noise as it was taking off. It sounded like booster rockets going off. It was not
Right,
quiet and you're not hearing that anymore. So, for what it's worth,
The issue here is that the longer and Hugon would be saying this out loud, he would be giving his assessment. The longer we wait down here and the more we explore, the longer they have to either escape or prepare something. So he would advocate, unfortunately, taking the stairs and chasing this thing down if there's not a better way up. And so he would put that forward to the party to see their thoughts.
I'd be paying attention to him. Okay, apparently I am.
I mean, if you weren't, he'd be like, "Hey, Dren, you want to go find the mech?"
yeah,
I do
it's
love
like-
that you roll for her attention span.
That's why I have the fate die. Am I paying attention or not? Okay. So what's my carrying capacity of Mr. Kitty?
Oh my God, what's the carrying capacity of the kitty?
I mean, you can drag a hell of a lot of weight, so
I'm making sure because the quickest way to get up there is going to be with Mr. Sir Silverton.
Are you saying like put everyone on the back and ride?
Or
it
he
up
could
there?
grab someone in his maw. Hugon.
nope,
Um,
no, not acceptable.
Drag him upstairs.
Like grab him by the scruff like a little kitty.
They're just dragging him against the stairs.
I think it would be.
I
given
do like the idea of Hugon riding him like Battle Cat and He-Man or something like that.
You would have to find a way to kind of like. So Dren, you're small enough that you're able to fit in between like these spiky blades that run down its back. You would have to figure out how to kind of
tiny.
situate everyone, so as to not get like pinched between like the sliding steel plates of
Impaled.
its skin.
Mhm.
How
But-
big is this thing?
It's considered
It's
a
the size of
large
a horse.
construct, so it's the size of a. It might.
It's like a perch, or it's like a war horse that's also.
I'm gonna say it's
a
Clydesdale
xenomorph.
sized. This is
Yeah.
pretty big,
Yeah.
but it's got a strength of 24.
Jesus
So
God!
+7 to strength, And let's just hang on. Let's just do a comparison here. I think.
I can double its carrying capacity for an hour.
There
Oh
we
my
go.
God.
So we can easily just
Dear.
like bound up these stairs.
A war
But then I don't
horse-
have any spell
Okay,
slots.
just
left.
just to give you an idea, a war horse's strength is 18 plus
Yeah.
4. So the bonus is almost double. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do a DM's call here. and say,
Okay, so according to the rules, and I'm not disputing this, I just
Mhm.
because I want to know how much your carrying capacity. Your carrying capacity is your strength score multiplied by 15.
Not
It's a lot.
15?
24
15
times
here.
15.
Yeah.
24
So it's well over 300 pounds.
times 15.
360.
It's
360.
360.
Wow.
Your push, drag, or lift is your strength core times 30.
Oh my God! So 24 times 30.
So 720.
That
Yeah.
sounds low though. Right?
I mean, you could say whatever the hell you want about how
Well, I'm
strong
gonna.
it is. Okay,
Yeah, but it's-
I do think.
I was
I
just
only-
curious.
I
I
think.
weigh 42 pounds. So out of that 720, I'm not going to take up much.
Yeah, but then you've got Hugon wearing armor, who's got to be pushing 250,
Close to 300, probably.
close to
yeah.
300. You've got
Thunuk is
Thunuk, who
gigantic.
is three.
Dunuk, who easily is
Yeah.
300 pounds, just it.
But Thunuk is also very large and can take like 5 or 10 steps at a time.
This is true.
That's true.
Yeah.
It was about 150.
Okay, so, well, if we do the math, technically,
And
Yeah.
the kitty's not going to be happy about it, but he could probably do
He-
it.
He doesn't have a choice.
for about another 7 hours or so, 7.5 hours
Exactly.
or
You
so.
gotta love suggestions.
And if Eno can double its carrying capacity, well,
But no, you said you burned out
We'll-
your
we'll
spell
save
slots.
this spell.
Wow.
That's my last. That would be my last spell slot
yeah, and
if
we'll
I
save
used
it.
that.
We
Yeah,
have
you're
enough.
right.
because I could use that for a heal, or I could use
Yeah.
that for other
More,
things.
more
Let's
cutting
let the-
words.
My thought is we put the lighter people on it and just the rest of us walk. So Eno and probably Laura Lissa. That way the
Oh,
cat's
that's true, because
not-
then you have Laura Lissa and you've got Quohand.
and Kohan, myself, and Thunuk can just.
And you
Yeah.
still have the initial quest, which is you got to find this book.
Oh shit! You're right.
So, I mean,
Did
I'm not
any-
saying you're doing the wrong thing. I'm just,
Right.
I'm just keeping everything present of mind.
In our search, did we find the book anywhere here?
Well, you haven't even looked yet. You've just been
Oh, Jesus.
you've just been searching the
Right, with
bodies.
your
and-
pockets.
Okay, everybody search for the book real quick. That way we can just knock this out. Because if we find the book, that changes things. I apologize. I
That's
forgot.
what Dren says.
While they're searching for the book, Thunuk is going to ask the survivors if there are more survivors.
Oh my
Wait,
Uh,
did you just
Womp,
D?
womp, womp,
Womp,
womp.
womp, womp.
Womp,
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 womp.
womp, womp.
Do I find the
This
book?
is how much Dren cares about
Oh
finding-
shit!
No, she was more like she did one of these. She did the husband look of find the book. Sorry, I can't find it.
I don't want it.
all right.
I want to go. I want to turn into a teenager.
we are going to come back to that to your 20, to that natural 20, to that beautiful bump in just a second. So Thunuk, the folks are really not up to talking. They're alive, they're stable, but at the moment they're really not too much into a talkative mode. You would probably have to rouse one of them.
He's going to take some herbs and what looks like a puff mushroom. Like, I don't know what they're actually called, but it's like a fungus. It looks like a wrinkly pouch, but when you so much as touch it, it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's going to take one of those and what looks like the leaves you put into the chili pepper basil, basically. He's going to squeeze them between his fingers and over this from someone's nose. Well, it looks
Basically
like
creating smelling salts.
yeah. Basically, he's dragged the survivors together in one spot, and he's taken what looks like a monk and what looks like a villager or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and he's smelling salting them.
And they die. Anyway, no.
For the worse off than I thought.
And they all die.
You got the ratio wrong, man.
One of
They're
them is
allergic.
Yeah, the one guy's allergic. They're just throat closes up.
Fungus. Asthma.
I thought we had the place checked for mold. I'm calling my realtor right now. So you're able to get one of the villagers to awaken to the point where he's able to actually speak with you. The rest of them are looking pretty rough, being as that they were just used basically as human batteries, and their sense of self was being used to power a construct. He's kind of out of it, and you're asking him basically like if there's any survivors.
Or how many of them came in there? Because we're not just supposed to find the book. Weren't we also supposed to find?
He says,
any survivors? Our mission is to get the book for it to help us, but I think our quest is to retake the library and save whoever we can, wasn't it?
Yeah. He said, there was 4 of us. There was 4 of us that came in. We thought it was something that we can handle. We were mistaken.
Hugo wisely says nothing.
They
Yeah, no shit.
took us. It was the 4 strongest that we could find in the village that we thought. We didn't think it was anything like this.
What did you? What happened? What? I mean, I saw that, but it didn't seem nice. But did you? Were they the ones who got you?
Yeah, at first we just thought it was the metal creature. We weren't sure what it was, but we were able to hide from it. But
that one points at the cat.
Oh dear God! Oh gods! What?
That's Mr. Silverton. He's a good kid. Actually, he doesn't know that yet, so he can't say that. Never mind. I thought I just called him Mr. Silverton, but he doesn't actually know that yet.
That's true. And he goes, "Yes, after our capture, we saw it take out some of the gray dwarves, but it was the gray dwarves that took us. We haven't seen them in generations. They used to plague this valley, and they were driven out. They'd come up once every moon for slave raiding parties. But we haven't seen them in generations. I guess we forgot about them, and during the course of us trying to hide from that, they were able to take us by surprise, and they took us. And then they had us in those things. They closed the cage, and he takes like this ragged breath, and he starts kind of like the breath just starts hyperventilating, with the thought of being in this in this cage, in this pod again. And he says, I don't want to think about that.
Well, you don't have to. It's done. Well, we're gonna break them all. They're bad. But does Thunuk see that all the villagers are here, or is it just 3 of them?
It's
a 50-50 monk and villager mix.
So there's about it looks about to be about that ratio. Yes.
Okay.
So we're down a villager, essentially.
So who? There was 4 of you, but I only see 3. Who is the 4th one? Do you know his name? What's he look like? So if I see him, I don't think
he says
like them.
Samuel. He was the first they tried plugging into the machine.
Can't imagine that went well.
It did not.
Did he die?
I think
probably.
I think death would have been a blessing.
Okay. All right. I was going to say missing on my notes, but he is not dead. He is super dead.
Unalive.
Do you know how many monks are supposed to be here? We're supposed to kind of rescue you guys.
He says, I don't know. I know that they told us that they had lost contact and wanted some help. We came in, and honestly, these are the only brothers of shadow that I've seen.
Dumb question. Did they tell us how many there were before we left?
Mm-mm. No, it was an indeterminate amount. It seemed like an attack came fiercely and suddenly.
Well, I mean, they would know how many other brothers are there, wouldn't they?
That is true. Yes, they would have had an idea. So I think that at one point, there's probably about a half dozen monks that were unaccounted for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the villager starts holding his head, and he's just like, "I'm sorry. I have such a terrible headache. Do you mind if I answer your questions later?"
Sure, that's okay. And Thunik takes out a couple of thin strips of white willow bark out of his pockets and hands it to him and says, "You chew on this one, and then give each one of these guys one when they wake up. It's good for the headache."
And he basically nods, thank you. He's at the point now where speaking, if you've ever had that kind of migraine where speaking becomes difficult, that's kind of what's going on in his head right now. And everyone here is nodding. It's like, oh yeah, we've all been.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
this is a feling I am familiar with.
And so he, gets the bark and he starts doing kind of like, he gets the pouch, right there, right, gets it in there, starts chewing away. Okay, now, with that gorgeous 20 that you rolled.
Was that a perception or
that was? I'll call it an investigation check.
Investigation. So it's a 22 altogether.
22. What is it that you want to find here? Besides the book.
I'm looking around. I'm also looking around to see if there's any I don't have any magical weapons, so I'm also looking around to see if there's any magical weapons, just in case we run across anything formidable. Because since my magical, sort of essence is feeling light, just in case I need to defend myself. But yeah, I'm also looking for that tome, that sweet tome.
And then Drenmai did her precursory look and was over it.
I went full teenager.
Yeah, Hugon, what did you roll on that?
What,
your investigation?
Oh, 10 total.
10 total.
Oh, no, wait. I didn't actually roll for this.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, how would you get on that now? Huh?
So now it's an 18. Now it's an 18.
18.
18.
Okay. So with your 18,
right back there.
right? I see him back there. He's hiding out. Got my green flame behind me, right?
Mm-hmm. I see it.
There.
Oh yeah.
A
giant D20.
And a giant D20. I got that for my 40th birthday. My wife.
Oh yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
So anywho, on an 18, what you're able to determine is that there's definitely a catalog system here, and you were able to find the catalog system that would show you where to find the book that you're looking for. Because obviously you're not just going to go poking around the shelves here. There's literally thousands upon thousands of books. The natural 20, you're able to suss out from just by looking at the categorization exactly where it is without the category, as well as because you've kind of figured it out. You're like, I think I know where to find other books should I want to find them.
Ooh. Ooh.
So you think that you'd very quickly be able to navigate this particular silo. You do figure out where the tome of Abarak is. Both of you are able to figure out where that is. You figure it's about 3 floors up on that realm. It's actually a combination section of treaties on the treaties on shadows, the Shadowfell, and shadow magic. Is basically contained within that 3rd floor of the forbidden section. You also take a look at the war picks that's the one duergar was carrying, and it was while not magical, very well made. And Hugon, you would have picked up on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You would have picked up on the pick. Get it? So, yes. So your investigation check also shows, because you rolled that natural 20, and we have to reward such things. You see on the floor from there's a hallway that leads from on the northeast side of this, that leads like up to like that northern room. And on the floor there and around the archway that leads out of there, you see various runes and sigils carved in and inlaid into the tile. Very nicely done. But you are able to see that. And how long does comprehend language last?
Oh, it's still up. That it lasts for an hour. Yeah.
So while the sigils you're not quite sure you understand because they are of like some kind of arcane nature, the sigils themselves look like sigils of protection. They read it reads something along the lines of, "Here lies this way to librarian."
Oh dear.
But it's looks like the way it's set up is it's meant to keep something from coming out.
Okay. Okay, and I also kind of think that because Eno up until this point didn't know what what the party was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a moment when he looks at Hugon and says, "Wait, what book are you looking for?"
The tome of Abarak.
And for a second he kind of, his eyes slightly widen and he's like, "Interesting."
And why is that?
Because that's the book I'm looking for.
Well, it's not going to be our property when we find it.
Who told you to find it?
Oh, the head of the monks of the Temple of Shadow want that book, and that book is how I get access to this entire library whenever I want. And I might be able to negotiate to have you included in that. But essentially, that book is the ticket.
So I think at this point, I must tell you that I was supposed to meet a monk to gain entrance into this library, and that monk never showed up. And a strange person did.
Okay.
And he asked me to find this book and give it to him.
I don't want to come off as rude, but no.
Fair enough.
The book goes where we were hired for it to go. Now, what happens after that point is your business. Fair?
We'll take it as it comes then.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to set the damn thing on fire, so it's not like it matters. I mean, like, just take it from them, or don't, or
Drenmai, you hear the word fire.
Oh, you have no idea how hard I've been holding back from setting this shit on fire with the bad guys.
Once we have the book, we return the book. And then what happens to that book is really not up to me. I imagine, given that they want it, you'll have to talk to them about actually reading it. Or, you know, maybe you're the designated holder of the book and you read it while we go. How does that sound? It still gets to the same place, but you get what you want and we get what we want.
And he's nodding.
Yeah. And as you're having this conversation, you hear a voice from the hallway to that northeast hallway, which is darkened. and a soft female voice says, "Why do you seek the tome of Abarak?"
Swivel around to see what's going on.
And this tall, lithe woman starts to emerge from the darkness, wearing these thin, flowing robes that just seem to move around her. Pale skin, dark hair, sharp features, very high cheekbones.
Mhm.
But she stops right at the edge of right where that archway is. Like, she does not cross through that doorway.
Okay.
And she says, "What do you seek from my library?"
Eno mutters under his breath, "Librarian." Like, loud enough for Hugon to hear.
And Hugon's like, well, the head of the Temple of Shadow, the monks there, they want that book. And that is really all I know. It seems to be an important book.
The book is only a beginning of knowledge.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is Hugon should not be dealing with her.
Well, that's
I
very nice.
could potentially give you the rest.
Oh, really?
And
all right.
she looks over at Drenmai, and then she looks over at Loralissa, and an eyebrow just ever so slightly goes up. And she says, "Yes, I think I can help." And that is where we're going to end this week's game.
Okay.
I knew it.
I was gonna say, I'm
Fantastic.
gonna glare at her.
I knew it. That was
Well,
good.
it is 7 o'clock, and
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you to the Team X here for playing Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you for all achieving a health status that would allow you to play Dungeons
Yes,
and
very
Dragons
much so.
for yet another week. For folks who are either watching this live or for the folks who might be listening to this on the podcast, first of all, I have the absolute best players on the planet.
Aww.
And if you don't agree with me, fight me. Second
Don't
of all,
recommend it. Don't recommend it.
second of all, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much for listening to our program here. We are going to be back again next week with an all-new episode of Team X. On Tuesday, we're going to have a new episode of Late to the Game. Was something voted on?
It's still open, actually. It's supposed to close tonight. The vote is between Evo, the Search for
Ooh.
Eden.
That is a good game.
What was that game you suggested with the glove? Glover.
Glover.
The game with the glove. Oh, yeah.
Glover's so funny.
I can't remember what the third one was, but the fourth option I put out there was another Zelda. Was
Mhm.
literally what I said.
Another Zelda.
Yeah.
And where can one vote for this?
Over on the Twitter account for EatDrinkRoll.
There you go. We also have tomorrow on Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, the draft for Monster Madness. So if you're interested in participating in this, if you happen to see this in the next, couple hours, register over at eatdrinkroll.com. We're going to be running a live draft. We'll be streaming that. It is a 5-on-5 monster versus monster matchup bracketed tournament. We have
It is a
13
literal monster match.
It is. Super looking forward to it. But hopefully, hopefully we see you out there, or at least maybe you'll watch and we'll get to see some shenanigans that way. What we're going to do is we're going to take, again, the briefest of breaks to quench our thirst and perhaps recycle some of the coffee that some of us have drank. And then we will have a brief table talk. But we would ask you to please sit tight, stay tuned, and we will be right back.
a little bit. Just a little bit. We were talking about breakfast foods and how delicious shrimp and grits is and how hard it is to get good shrimp and grits if you're not from the South or in the South.
And beignets.
I've never had a beignet. I assume it's like a crepe of some sort.
No, it's a puffy little squares thing, and it's hot, and they put it in
And that
this
doesn't tell me anything. Is it a pastry?
pastry.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm okay. So that is what I am getting you when we go to Unplugged.
All
Because
right.
you're not coming to eat, right?
I know, probably not, because East is in
Okay.
March.
Can you find beignets in Philadelphia?
Oh, I'll
Byler's has
bring
got 'em.
beignet.
Oh, okay.
I bet Byler's has them.
Probably, but
Well, scream at them. It's a
Wait,
pastry.
that one
me
Cajun
a
place had
beignet.
beignets on the menu. They had beignets on the menu.
Man, I was mad about Reading Terminal this year. It was so crowded. I didn't get to eat anything. Yeah,
aw.
like it was like fighting through an entire like army of people, and I couldn't get my broccoli rabe and roast pork. Couldn't get it. Didn't get to go to Dinex at all. Period. Didn't get to go to Byler's. Didn't get to go to the seafood place. Didn't get to go to the ice cream place.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
my cheesesteak. That was the
I
only
was
thing I was
pissed.
able to get.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember that conversation. Yep. Dinex. Yes, a bit.
Hmm.
It's a fantastic terminal. I love it.
It is.
But-
I did notice though. I threw my dietary schedule out of whack on purpose.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to eat there frequently, but the only time you can possibly get anywhere and get any food at all is like if you break out of the whole like lunches during lunchtime like
Yeah.
Mhm.
thing. And yeah, breakfast at like crack of open, easy.
Perfect.
Lunch at like an hour before lunchish time or an hour after lunchish time, no
Perfect.
problem. But
Problem was I was gaming till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, so I
Mhm.
wasn't moving till at least 8.
uh,
Like
I tell you
no.
what, well, so just so we're on brand, I did have myself muted for the first part of that. It happens.
It happens.
And for what's not on brand is we're actually not talking about the food stuff during the actual game and derailing the whole game,
This is true.
which is fine.
Yeah.
No, Reading Terminal first thing in the morning is one of my favorite things because there's nobody in there. It smells
There's a couple of
wonderful.
really great coffee shops. Go to Byler's, grab a donut. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a good time.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there. So-
some nice greasy spoons in there too for like
Oh,
if you want some
absolutely.
like eggs.
I would like
bacon.
something that's composed mostly of melted cheese. They've
Melted
got
cheese, grease, and perhaps some starch in there.
Put
Potato
a
would be
bacon
fine.
thing in there.
Bacon.
Give me
Yes.
all my carbs and fats and stuff.
When's
Heaven.
unplugged? Anyway.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
So, okay, let's go around the horn. Favorite moments of the game, and today let us start with Mr. Valander. Let us start with the blind cleric today.
Okay,
What is your favorite moment today?
I really liked Eno's. Basically, that entire combat was very, very simplified because of Eno's contributions, and it was very interesting because I don't really know much about bards in 5e. It was very fascinating to see like the applications of the spell list.
Mhm.
So that was a lot of fun. The fairy fire, the cutting words was cool. Vicious mockery was great. It was like watching like somebody like flip open an arcane Swiss Army knife and be like, I have a solution for this. I have a solution. I have a solution for this. It was very, very, very cool.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely like that. Let's go to then Rasaella.
Well, I don't have very many solutions left right now until I
Oh.
take a long rest, but yeah, it was really cool. I enjoyed engulfing the mech in darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. I had wondered when that spell was going to come into play. It's part of my racial background. So
Oh, that's a
yeah.
tiefling thing.
Yeah, it's a tiefling
Oh,
thing.
that's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, I get that, and I get Hellish Rebuke, which I was like thinking about using, but I didn't. But I only have one usage per long rest, so I still have that so I still have a couple things up my sleeve. But yeah, like that was neat. Being able to free the people without them dying, that was really awesome.
Yeah.
I just read Hellish Rebuke.
Yeah, that's a gross spell.
God damn it.
It's insane. I was so close to doing it, but like I was reading it and I'm like, I don't know if it's work, because he's like in darkness. Do I see it? Who does it affect? And I just didn't want to be bogged down in it. Yeah, I didn't want to get bugged. Yeah, that was the other thing. Like I was like, it's fire. I don't know.
That is a first level spell that is extraordinarily strong, and as you get more powerful, it gets more powerful.
Well, and it's for this, it's casted second for this this thing. So it's like
that's 3d10 of like
3d10.
So
burn.
Tieflings, folks.
Yeah, not only are they Twitter's favorite horned race to be horny about, they will righteously mess you up.
So yeah.
Okay. Clues.
Easily Thinuk's visual of using his all sparkly stuff happened.
Yeah.
That was badass.
That was good.
Yeah,
I'm actually thinking about all of that stuff like weeks now. Like every time I get a new spell, it's like, it's gonna be like.
What's it gonna look like?
What's a nature cleric spirit guardian look like? God damn it!
Yeah. That whole, even if like it didn't even hit anything, just like sparkle. I just see massive Thinuk just like that's so cool in my head.
I think it's pretty, but no.
Yeah, it's pretty, but it's that like deadly pretty, and I love it.
Well, what's fun about it? I just had something in my head that came up. Would be like, this is going on, right? There's this huge battle, and there's Thunuk does spirit guardians, but you're immune to it because you're friends with him, and he's selected you not to be harmed. So in the middle of this battle, Drenmai could be walking around like, ooh, pretty. Look, I can see the sea. Well, there's like someone being like eviscerated right next to them by these things.
Yeah, when he described it, I'm like, man, too bad I wasn't paying more attention, because I'm sitting there like trying to shock this poor dude's brain and smashing guts are going everywhere. All this really cool shit is happening behind me, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
I honestly, had I been paying better attention as to the size of the room, I think I probably would have had Thunuk run across the room at some point, but he would have had to have seen one of the other people being plugged in or something for that to happen. Yeah. No. Just cut right through the middle of the fight. Just
move,
slice and dice everyone.
Just like pushing people out of the way. I think
more like Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura 2 when he's running with the bat. It's just the goat. Viking goat prime.
Easily the fact that these duergar were effectively becoming, had they been piled up, it would have been just like a kitty scratching post / chew toy composed of duergar.
That'd be my second favorite when I got to bisect a duergar.
The whole mental image of a bisected duergar, I was just like, this thing is composed of like, it's basically just a walking meowing knife.
Yep.
Everything about it is death.
It's a cat made of knives, essentially.
And here we have Drenmai sitting on top of us like, go kitty, go kitty.
good kitty.
It's like the most vicious Thundercat ever.
This is the gritty reboot of Thundercats.
It's a
Exactly.
cybernetic battle cat.
Oh no! What was the animal form of Transformers? Like Battle
The
Beast.
Maximals? The Maximals?
Yeah,
Beast
yeah.
Wars? Yeah.
Beast Mode.
Fuck yeah, Beast Wars.
Ravage.
That's totally what this is.
It was Ravage.
Yeah. Although I will say, funnily enough, Hugon is actually quite good at handle animal. So if we do end up like keeping this thing,
Battle cat?
You're
Mal
gonna have to
is-
take it out. You're gonna have to get up in the middle of the night when it needs to go.
You're gonna have to let it out when it needs to go potty.
you're
have
gonna
to
have
feed
to
it.
feed it the bodies of the slain.
You
It's on you.
have to take it out of the village to feed it because it's not eating here.
No, it's not eating here.
Make sure to litter box train it. And there you're cleaning.
And
the
like
litter.
You're cleaning up after
it's
it.
Perfect steel ingots. Just like bang. Come on. Messing
on
up
your
the tile. Just like dents the tile. Like son of a bitch.
I have a plan for Sir Silverton.
See, now that's my favorite. That the thing is gonna start like pooping pure steel, and you're gonna start selling it to blacksmiths.
Yeah.
On that
Oh my
topic,
god!
It's-
Can I
he's
make a
upset
knife
to his
made
stomach,
out
so it comes out like Damascus. You know, just
Or like he vomits and it's like little ringlets.
It's a
like,
hairball, but it's a steel
It's
ball.
wire.
steel wool.
It's what? It's steel wool that comes out.
it coughs up canister steel. Just
Clang. Occasionally, you'll see the odd bit of copper in there. Like, what the fuck? Who fed you copper?
How'd you get caught?
why
Why
did you
is
eat
it
this?
always
Stop eating
copper?
weird. Stop eating
Always
weird
get
shit.
sick when you eat brass. Why you keep eating brass?
Stop eating
Spit
brass,
it out.
goddamn!
Drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
No.
What is in your
no.
mouth? You're like prying open like a steel trap mouth. Like, what's in there?
You guys have to do everything in your power to let me let you do this. That's just all I'm saying. Is that I want
Sonic
this
does
to
have animal
I have
friendship.
plans. I have very much plans.
Yeah, your plans usually involve like putting like railguns on stuff. Though.
Oh,
They're-
if I can,
oh, God.
that's stage 2. If I can actually figure out a way to keep this
To
thing, I plan
weaponize
on
the kid,
weaponizing-
to weaponize the sentient weapon. Oh, good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. Sentient weapon has a ranged attack.
Friggin' cats with friggin' laser beams.
Cats with
Laser
friggin' laser
beams.
beams.
Right
I
on
love
the
it.
forehead. It's a unikitty. We've broken our DM.
This might
This
be
is
my
dumb.
favorite moment. Is that I oh God, that you guys are now going to weaponize this thing.
Hey,
We're
It's-
going to weaponize every single thing that you drop into our laps.
Or eat it.
The mechs,
Or eat it.
ours. The cat, ours. Whatever the hell else is in this dungeon, count on us.
it's the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Mine.
Mine.
Fine.
Why?
So yeah, favorite moment. There was a righteous kill. The initial duergar just going down
Mm.
as quickly as it did. That's a favorite moment. The vicious mockery was definitely a favorite moment.
was good.
All the times that it happened. And I will say, I will freely admit, I cribbed that one off of Mercer because they had their bard do vicious mockery and it reduced a duergar in the campaign that they're doing
that's hilarious.
down to 0, and he had to commit suicide. I was like, you know what? That's perfect here.
We're stealing it.
Wow.
We're
works.
stealing it.
Because how else? Because it's like, okay, psychic damage. Like, nope. And in their case, it willingly drowned itself.
Oh,
Ugh.
So
once again, Matthew
And-
Mercer coming through.
I'll say, if I could be a bit selfish, favorite moment being that I have completely failed myself in saying, oh yeah, you found the plans to this thing. Not thinking at all what you guys were going to do with it. Knowing what you got, I should have known. I had no one but myself to blame.
As soon as I said spec sheet, and you're like, yeah, it's a spec sheet. I was like, oh no, we're
Because-
handing this to Dren.
Because, well, it's yeah. But in the end, it means that Thunuk doesn't get to understand why this thing works, which makes it fun. Drenmai and apparently now Eno now get to tinker with this thing, which makes this fun. And Hugon gets powered armor at some point, which makes it fun. So in the end, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be righteous.
But now I
The
didn't
level
think-
of nonsense that we are allowed to get up to, I think would make other DMs quail.
But
But not you.
listen,
You embrace it.
because I love the chaos of it, and I want to see what happens. I really, really do. I'm looking forward to this, and it gives me an excuse to dig further into the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, because we are getting to some Ravnica territory on some of this
We
shit.
are a bit.
Oh, I can't wait.
There are 2 other mech corpses. Just so you know.
oh god! Oh god!
Oh, that's right.
Oh god!
Better mech.
Uh-huh.
Oh god! What was I thinking?
That mech is ostentatious.
Like
And-
we
oh.
didn't destroy those.
I haven't already thought that these ones are actually well preserved. There's a reason I'm going for the vital tiddly bits, because I want to have an Iron Man suit.
I need to rethink this whole campaign.
I'm not
stop putting
destroying
mechanical
these things
shit
on
here.
purpose.
All right, listen. I just added on to my to-do list. Any other tidbits, observations, things people would like to bring up, talk about, never
Remind
mention
me.
again?
To insight check people regularly, because Thunuk has that insight check ability where he gets a super duper serious bonus to insight checks. But it would be a thing he would do. Meets a new person. Are they a nice person?
Hmm.
Are they friends?
Hmm.
Are they rude? But yeah, Thunuk should be doing more insight checks just because of his nature.
Okay.
That's all I got.
All right.
Hugon talks a lot more than he should.
No, but I'm okay with that too. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And your recommended viewings for the week?
I don't know. Viewings.
Things that you've seen.
Umbrella Academy is freaking fantastic.
What is it? Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella
Oh,
Academy?
Yes. Okay.
I binge watched all of Expanse seasons 1 through 3 over the course of 3 days.
Wow.
Good.
It was extraordinary.
Okay.
Best sci-fi I've seen in years.
Ooh.
It is true hard sci-fi.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
bold.
like, I have a nerd friend who likes to complain about shit. So he's mad about how they treat gravity in some cases and how ship design doesn't make a whole ton of sense in some cases. But he's otherwise been very pleased with it. So I haven't had to listen to his horse shit, which is a sign of a good show in his opinion.
Mm-hmm. I recently got through She-Ra.
Oh, nice.
Really good.
That was very fun. Yeah.
Really fun. And I still maintain that Entrapta is Drenmai Gemweaver.
A bit. Yeah, I can see it.
Clues, have you seen She-Ra yet?
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah. I knew exactly who you were talking about.
And yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I started.
Oh, yeah.
Yvonne and I were talking about it. It was like, yep, yeah, that's her. And then I just started. I know I'm late. I'm really late to the game on this one. The Dragon Prince.
I have not seen Dragon Prince or
Can't
She-Ra.
watch it.
2 episodes in, really good.
The animation hurts my brain.
Really?
Hurts my eyes. Yeah. It's that. That's
Cell
sort of,
shade.
it's not the cell shit. It's the blockiness.
Oh,
It's like the
how everything's got sort of a right angle.
The animation itself, how
it's the
not
animation
smooth.
itself, not the art style. But like, I like interesting and different art styles, and I like I like playing with cell shading. But if your animation is going to be like strobo
Mm-hmm.
thing, I'm gonna have a hard time watching it.
Yeah.
I don't want to. It sort of used to work for me for South Park because they look like paper cutouts,
Mhm.
but your characters don't look like paper cutouts. They look really clean and well designed. They should be animated that way too. My
No,
brain
you're
just
right.
does not connect it. This is a huge disconnect.
Huh. Duly noted.
Duly noted. Anything from Roz or the Dragon?
I might have a surprise for next week. We shall see.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Is this one that I have to worry about or prepare for?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Hmm.
God. Okay.
I'll DM you.
Okay.
No, don't worry.
speak to
Don't
your
worry.
titans.
Narrator. He should worry.
You should worry. More so because he might be nervous, but it could
That's
be
all right.
fun.
We'll make it work. All right, crew. I'm gonna send us into the. What What?
I forgot. I realized what the mystery. I looked up the poll.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have opinions about what I'm supposed to be playing,
Mm-hmm.
because there's 22 hours left on it, that poll is mostly Dragon's Lair right now. That's the one I forgot.
Yeah, I voted for Glover because it's
Okay.
the superior of all four of those.
Wait, Dragon's Lair. Is that
Exactly, Glover.
the cell animated one?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, that was impossible in the arcade.
And,
That was-
and
That was a good
It's-
way if you had $1 that you didn't want anymore.
it's not going to last very long because it's 50 continues for late to the game. Every time you die, you have to start the game over again.
If the
It's true.
controls are better than the arcade, you might get further, but odds are,
No.
Yeah.
They're not. I have it.
oh god.
Really?
It's the same.
I'm probably going to be getting in touch with you because I have no idea where to find it.
It's on Steam. I
Okay,
think.
I'll be hopping on the Steam probably.
Alrighty, crew. Then I'm going to send us into the end credits here. Again, everyone who stuck around, thank you very, very much for watching. It was a pleasure. Hopefully, it was a pleasure for you. It was a pleasure for me to play Dungeons and Dragons with this crew. December cannot get here fast enough. But that aside, everyone have yourselves a great week. Follow us on Twitter at EatDrinkRoll. Make sure you subscribe to everything that you possibly can to us because we would love it if you did. Anyways, have a great week, everyone. See you
Bye.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Come on now.